And then we got to the airport and there was nobody in the airport. Like it was like an abandoned building.
Yeah, it was spooky.
It was really creepy.
That sounds nuts. Yeah, because by the time this podcast recording or is releasing, I would have already flown to Denver for Mother's Day. You know, pro mom. Gotta see my mom.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be really easy to just sprint through TSA. Pretty excited. Maybe be the only.
Unless you get stuck like I did.
Yeah. Wait, what happened there?
So we got to the airport, and I am at the Delta counter, and I'm checking my bag, checking in for my flight, and the guy's like, "Oh, hold on, I have to have the head of security come talk to you."
Nice.
It's like, me?
They're like, yeah, we saw your shoot in Banff, and it was.
And you broke every law.
And if he said it like that, he's canceled.
Okay,
life.
Can I just tell a prereq story here? On the way to Canada, we're in the security line, and Gabby just like warns me. She goes, just to let you know, I always get stopped. And I was like, okay, well, I literally never get stopped, so this is going to be weird. So sure enough, we're oh God. We're going through security, and I just like, actually it was behind you. I breeze through like nothing's happening to me, and I see this guy talking to Gabby, and I'm like, then the line is delayed. And she like has her hands all over. This is on the way to Canada. And she's like she's like touching all this stuff, like listening to this TSA officer who's giving her these like weird
he's like, put your hands out, pull your sleeves up.
She's just obeying all these rules.
And he's like, okay, and put them on your head and go like this. I'm literally in the TSA line.
And he grabs his hands. He goes, okay, move your fingers like this. So
jazz hands
in the middle doing spirit fingers in the middle of the security line. And the guy's just laughing his ass off. And Gabby's dead serious. She's like,
because I'm like, I'm going to get.
Like, she's scared.
You gotta obey.
If I
I was like in the thing with my arms up, like the wand was going around me. And Gabby's like,
I'm just losing it.
They're like trying to get you to do a TikTok, and they're like, all right, and they'll bring your hands out here, and then come around. And then come around.
So like we're in Canada trying to get back, and we're at the Delta counter. She gets stopped, and she like looks at me, and she's like, this is literally a joke. Like, they're joking. And then they're like, no, we're not joking, and you need to go sit over in the corner because there's a
the head of security.
Yeah.
Or the head of Homeland Security is going to come meet with you.
Oh, my God.
So I'm like, all right. But
that sounds
like,
serious.
Poop my pants.
Yeah.
So we're sitting
and they
on
took
this
her
bench.
luggage. They took all her stuff.
They took my passport, took my boarding pass. They had everything held for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Was there any like reason?
No, I was not informed of anything at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on a bench right by the Delta counter. I'm surprised they didn't put me somewhere else.
I know.
And he comes over to me and he's like, so you went to Paris? It's like, well, actually, I didn't go to Paris. Like, I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah.
I had a flight booked to Paris that I did not go on.
Like 3-4 months ago.
Right.
Like
and
a long
like,
time
and
ago.
I never went. So, and he's like, well, you know, according to my records, it says that you were in Paris. Like, well, actually, I've never been overseas in my life. So I don't know why that would be happening. He's like, all right, well, someone else will deal with that. Whatever. Go ahead for now. I'm like, okay, great. Like, who am I going to talk to next?
Right.
So go back up to the counter. The lady's refusing to give me my luggage because she thinks
she
there's
was
still
really
an issue.
mean to Gabby.
She was really mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, no,
What
he
was
gave
she
me the
saying?
go ahead. She's like, no.
She was just
like,
really condescending.
Yeah. Like, I was really fired up after that encounter with her because I was like, you do not speak like that to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know, we can come after these people too, you know.
Right.
Well, and it's not, actually, I wouldn't say I wouldn't come after them, but the interns will most likely let Delta hear it from the rooftops. And that's and look, that's kind of what happens. Our listeners, our interns go to bat.
Delta does eventually redeem themselves in this
I'm
story.
pro Delta
though.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
wow.
at first,
wow.
they actually
yeah.
saved me at the end.
Quick
Quite
rebound.
the turn of
Quick
events.
rebound. Okay,
Jeez.
continue.
So we go through security. And then what's
We pass with
interesting-
flying colors.
Yep. And then we get to the end, and what's interesting is that they have customs for the U.S. in Canada, not after you land.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up to that counter, and he's like, scans my passport. He's like, oh, you need to go back and talk to my supervisor. It's like, okay. He's like, it'll be quick, whatever. Take this mask.
So I'm talking to my
This is the
guy.
first time I've seen a mask since all of this started because we were out of the country.
Oh, no way.
So I was like, oh, this is like a little serious. Where am I going?
And I'm talking to my guy at customs, and he's ripping jokes. Like, he's like, why do you guys have all this stuff for all of the clients we shop for? And I was like,
we had so many bags. Oh my gosh.
It was like
my
really,
little arms couldn't carry it.
We looked like we were smuggling something. And so he's like dropping all these jokes. I'm laughing. I'm like friends with the guy. He's like showing me his daughter's Instagram page.
I didn't know this. Oh my God. And I'm being hauled back to
and I look
jail.
over, and Gabby has her hands behind her back with a mask on.
No, I didn't have my hands behind my back. Go ahead.
You were like being escorted though.
Yeah, I was like a sad little puppy.
Like he was like walking
Tail between
her.
your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just like looks over at me, and the guy's like showing me.
I was like, see you in a little, like thinking it'd be a little, and that was just completely wrong.
Yeah, and we were 2 hours early, and I hate being early to the airport. I like to walk on the plane when they're waiting. But it was an international
flight, so I was like,
well, typically, Clara, you love being just late to everything.
Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it makes no sense. In your mind, it would make no sense to.
Well, I'm like, why are we going to get there 2 hours early? Like, it's so boring. It's 7 a.m. I had to drive an hour and a half to the airport.
And thank God we did.
In the rental car whose transmission went out on the mountains a day before. So I'm like, like I was not excited about it. But this 2 hours turned into about 10 minutes because.
So I get brought back into what literally felt like jail. I'm put in a tiny little room with 15 other people who all have masks, and they are coughing, and it's everyone they thought had COVID.
Oh.
So they're like, let's put
in a tiny room.
All these people in a tiny room together so they can all cough on each other.
Here's this mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally, I have really bad anxiety. So I'm like hyperventilating, and I'm like, this is really bad. Like, I'm infected with COVID as of now. Like, what am I supposed to do? And after that, I get put in another room with this girl who literally is coughing her lungs out.
That
and
is so stressful.
I got an antibody test. I didn't have COVID at any point yet, which I'm so surprised that I did not get it when I was in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how
You're lucky.
How I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I'm in this tiny room with this girl, and I like am sitting. There's a little glass window on the side, so I take my spinny chair and I'm sitting there. I'm like, eyes, my arms crossed. And
meanwhile, I am in the airport enjoying it. I like got a coffee and a breakfast sandwich.
I'm hangry. I'm pissed off. No one's listening to me. I stick my head, like, I open the door, and I'm like, hi, my name's Gabby Thomas, and I'm not supposed to be here. I wasn't in Paris. Like,
they're like, ma'am, sit down.
And they're like, you need to shut up. Like, sit down. And
okay, sorry.
She's texting me. She's like, I'm going up there. I'm going up to the window. I was like, go get him, Tiger. Go get him.
So I'm just like brewing behind my little glass window with my mask on, and there's like a security camera behind me, and I'm just like literally staring into that and then staring out the window.
Death stares only.
Yep. I kept popping my head out because I was like, okay, my flight is boarding in like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, so this is where it didn't get
no one's talked to me.
Yeah.
I've had no communication through any of this.
So
and everyone's still sitting there.
Still sitting there.
Yeah.
So I was at the Delta counter, like by the gate at this point.
Freaking out.
Yeah, Gabby's like freaking out, bombing like everyone in her family.
Well, hold on, can't say bombing in the airport. Then you're not gonna get on your flight if you say bombing.
Fair.
Just saying.
Right.
You did say Gabrielle, which is like that's how you know
name drop.
Right.
Yeah. You seriously. Yeah. You name dropped yourself. There.
I did.
Oh, wow. I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
I'm Gabrielle Thomas. So
I'm Gabrielle Thomas, and this is Disney Channel.
COVID who? But yeah.
Well,
so
I need to get back to the United States.
Not only are you just chilling, Clara, you're also taking Instagram stories, capturing this whole thing.
Okay,
and I'm following this.
No,
like,
but I support it. I want the content of this.
Okay.
Gabby's like, get content. I'm like, okay, well, I'm alone.
Say it, but you know, I supported it. Like,
she was thinking it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I go to the Delta counter because I was kind of like, okay, I got her some gluten-free snacks because I knew she was gonna be stressed out, and so I'm like, okay, we're gonna for sure get on this plane. So I go up to the lady and I'm like, yeah, they detained my friend who didn't go to Paris. Like, I thought it was a joke, but it's been 2 hours and like she's still sitting there and I need you to send somebody to go get her. And she just looks at me and she goes, you're probably not gonna get on the flight.
And I was like, okay.
I'm like,
because I have my phone, thank God.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got to keep that.
So I FaceTime Zach and I'm like, yo, dog. I'm going to be here for a while. And I was like, Gabby's still in this detainment room. He's like, you got to go talk to the gate agents, whatever. So I go back up and I talk to a guy this time. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to like need you to go get this girl. And I'm like, we need to get back. So I was like, if we don't get on this flight, when can we get home? He's like, well, if the 5 p.m. flight doesn't get canceled, you can hop on that. But it's right now there's only 12 people on that flight. So there's a chance that one gets canceled. Mind you, this is like a day before the Canadian border gets shut down.
Oh my God.
And it's like noon at this point. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I need you to send somebody to go get her.
And if I don't get out, I'm going to be put in quarantine somewhere for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like it was like really funny until it like wasn't funny.
Yeah. It went from like being very laughable to like, I'm dying.
And I was like, I can't leave her in
I'm
a
stuck
foreign
in a room
country.
with these people now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I can't leave her in a foreign country. We were with this photographer guy.
You were considering leaving though?
No, but there's a story.
Okay.
So we were with this photographer guy who I had bought him a coffee, a breakfast sandwich. I'm like, here you go. Whatever. We got to stay for Gabby, Team Gabby, like hashtag free Gabby. And
Trending.
I swear to God, you guys, I'm like texting Zach, like my head's down. He was sitting right next to me. I look up. He has all of his luggage and he's scanning his boarding pass getting on the flight. I'm like,
like no goodbye, just beeline. He's like, I'm out.
Gets on the plane, doesn't say bye, just like he was with us on this trip.
Yeah.
Leaves. I'm like, you forgot your coffee, but
Yeah.
keep going. So then I'm like, okay, well now I can't literally leave her because like our team is falling apart.
Yeah.
And they're like doing these final boarding calls and they're like, final boarding call for flight whatever, and there's nobody in the airport. Like it was like I was just sitting in a chair. I looked like it was so weird.
So meanwhile, I'm still sitting in my chair. I'm still grumpily staring through the window, and then all of a sudden someone comes on and is like, Gabrielle. Like, yes, that is me.
What?
It was our Delta gate agent who sent somebody to get her.
He came up to the counter, told them, he's like, this girl's not supposed to be here, like this is what happened. And they're like, oh, okay,
Go
great.
ahead.
Oh, we'll go get her. So they throw down some paperwork in front of me. I didn't read it. I just signed it. And because Claire's like, we're leaving.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. So sign it. I get my bag. I run.
She's running.
I'm literally
I like needed to play
the second I walk out. They're like, flight whatever Delta is leaving. I'm like, okay, where am I going? What is the gate? Like, I have no idea. I have bags that are too heavy for me. I'm like trying to run with them. I like literally can't because they're so heavy.
I'm standing there alone watching. I can like see her really tiny down the hallway, and I like wanted to play the like Rocky theme song. But then I could tell she was crying as she got closer, and I was like, okay, this.
Oh,
I was really sad.
But I still thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, like if I were in your shoes, I'd be dying.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I could totally.
It was okay at this point.
It was totally fine. At this point, but like it was probably traumatic for you.
It was very traumatic. I had in my head that I was gonna be in Canada for 2 weeks,
and I was just I was pretty funny overall.
So you didn't think,
and then she cried the whole way home.
The whole way home.
So you didn't think like, oh, you spent 9 days in Banff, you can't do another 2 weeks. Like, what's another 2 weeks? You can
in quarantine though.
No, but they won't let you back in because the borders were closing down. So our parents, our parents are sending us these articles that are like
scaring you.
Yeah, they're like, you need to get home. And we're like, okay, we're literally trying, but Gabby's in a room, so we can't.
We're like, I'm literally stuck and held by Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so bananas. But you're here now.
I'm here now.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Live to tell the story. So you guys really didn't have much of a period where it was like, oh, this COVID thing.
No, there was really no transition.
It was so weird.
Like when we left, it was still in China.
We went to a concert the night before we left.
Yeah.
And
there was no like.
Oh, no. Wait, you guys went to Two Friends or what?
That wasn't the night
Shout
before.
out to Two Friends.
I know.
No, that was
probably one at Fillmore.
We went to it was a rap concert.
Oh,
3-6 Mafia.
Yep.
Oh,
so do you get to like go to
Yeah, it was a
every
good one.
concert because of Zach?
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little sick of the Fillmore. I
Wow.
love it.
No,
I was
we miss
sick
it
of it
now.
Before it opened. Well, now I miss it. I was
Yeah.
sick of it before it opened because we were having lunch dates. So I was in there every day.
Oh.
Mm.
Right, because
Yeah.
that's Zach's place, right? That's like
his office is in there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's super cool. Damn.
But it was so contrasting because like we literally like were at 3-6 Mafia. We went to Brick and Mortar.
Yeah.
Totally normal. Fly out the next day, like 9 days later, and we come back in like
It's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I
It
remember
was so
getting
weird.
back and it was like doing my last grocery run for 2 weeks before I was on lockdown.
there was no toilet paper. I mean, we didn't.
Yeah.
And we
there
didn't
was no
see.
panic buying in Canada.
No, there was no one in Canada. Like wasn't. I mean, they're so spread out in Alberta anyway that like everything was totally normal.
Mhm.
Like we
Right.
went to McDonald's the day before we left, and it was like totally fine. People were eating at tables. I don't know. And then we come home. There's no ranch dressing. That's a big one for me. There's
daggers.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
That's
they're
when
not
reality
kidding.
sets in.
No, I
right?
was like, I texted Gabby. I'm like, COVID's real. There's literally no
Yeah.
There's no ranch dressing.
It's just a picture of an empty ranch bottle upside down, obviously, because
Yeah.
you had to turn upside down, use gravity to get it to the cap, and you sent a picture of that.
I'll show you a really good trick that I
COVID's
learned
here.
in college for that. You like windmill your arm and you can get so much out of the ranch dressing
Oh my
bottle.
God, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh,
not.
yeah. That's a good point.
The G-force.
Yeah,
Right.
it comes in
Wow.
handy.
You know what they call that? Centripetal force.
Whoa,
You know-
Decky
Big
essential.
word.
Decky essential. Bang, dude.
Got him.
Centripetal
guys
force
were-
is not a real thing, though.
It's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing. It's just it's just not a real thing. But
Okay.
it's a force that you feel.
That's-
Put it that way.
It's a perceived
Anyways,
force.
Andrew, you were about to totally say something else.
Yeah. Well, you guys were in Banff for many clients. How did you guys like swing this? How did this come
Yeah, did you
together?
ball out for your clients or what?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what really
9
matters.
days. I was
You
gonna
guys
ask,
fucking ball out or
what
what?
were you doing in Banff for 9 days for one? I thought you were there for Love Your Melon for 9 days.
No,
No,
they were the last client we added.
We had a lot of clients.
Mhm.
It was a little overwhelming. If we were to do it again, we'd do less.
So
It was wonderful. But it was just a lot.
We should have sent you guys some merch and then
done one for that.
just
Right.
be like, hey,
Yeah,
hey, wear
right.
this
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
So you guys planned a trip to Banff and then
So-
reached out to clients and be like, hey, we're doing this. Would you want to be a part of it? Type of thing.
Mhm.
So this
Very
photographer, videographer guy that we went with, him and I actually had a client call for one of my old clients, and
This is the guy that left you.
yes,
Gotcha.
we had a client call, and like our energy was totally playing off each other. Like we were gonna talk for 30 minutes, and like all of a sudden it was 2 hours on the phone, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to go to Banff." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy because I've been planning a shoot with a bunch of my clients in Banff. Should we just do this together?"
Good.
Wait, can you refill me?
Yeah, go ahead.
And he's like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "Should we just do it together?" And I'm like, I had never met this guy before. And I was like, "Yeah, but like also we need a model and like we need a lot more things for this trip." And then I realized that Gabby would be like the perfect addition.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we barely knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Got it.
yeah. And so I was like, "Hey, I'm going to have Gabby come with because she'd be perfect for modeling." Like I knew she wanted to do like more travel influencer stuff. And like, that's something that my roommate, her and I have like a little side thing where we do hospitality shoots. Like we go and we do little staycations. And we've done it all across the Twin Cities. And I'm like, and we have a website and all this stuff. I'm like, there's no reason we can't do this nationwide. So it had been something on my bucket list to like essentially get paid to travel and go do these things. And so I'm like, why don't we just combine forces? She takes care of the modeling side of it and I'll take care of the like marketing business aspect. So we just, I don't know, we just made it happen. We had like 8 different clients, all of which ended up paying like a really low cost to have a full shoot in Banff, because normally that would cost you like $6,000 as a company.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was like $500.
So you guys are just like, that's what I'm saying. I introduced you as the tandem because like I when I saw you guys go out there together, knowing your history with like brand strategy and digital marketing, and then obviously you're gorgeous and yeah, you're a model, right? It freaking works together.
Yeah,
And I was like, that strategy is fucking dope.
We're a good team.
we're a really good team.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were touching on wanting to do travel influence and stuff. Like so you, Gabby, you came on like
It was like
around
a
this
year
time
ago.
year ago, like right around right now,
Yeah.
honestly, which is so nuts.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we met Clara. I mean, we met you a month prior to that, so we've both known you for like roughly a year now. Look at
Wow.
us. Dude.
Happy anniversary.
Look at
Yeah.
us. Yeah, right. But so where are you trying to go now with like your travel influencing? I guess like what's new? What are you trying to get after now?
Well, overall, so due to COVID, clearly I can't be on set.
Right.
Like that is completely stopped.
That was
Yeah.
actually when we realized, sorry.
Oh, when my modeling job
Yes.
started canceling when I was in Canada.
We woke
Oh,
up one
shit.
morning.
Do you know how much money I lost?
Yeah, that was
week?
bad. We woke
Like-
up and Gabby's like, dude, I had 3 people cancel. And that rest of that
Like
day,
within like a 2-hour period,
Yeah.
I was like, job gone, job
Damn.
gone, job gone. I'm
she
like,
lost like 9
whoa. Yeah, it was
in
like,
one day. And
that
she's
was
like, dude, we
really
got to go
sad.
home. Like, this is
Yeah.
not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was bad. Okay,
Holy
keep going.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, yeah, overall, Minnesota. Last time I was talking to you guys, I was like, I'm going out to LA. That's what needs to happen.
Right.
Right.
I
right.
quickly realized I do not want to just move out to LA to move out to LA. Yes, connections will happen, but I want stuff set up and have some sort of a game plan. I'm not going to move out there until the demand is there.
Well,
so,
love
good
that.
smart move.
Right. So I'm signed in Chicago now. I'm signed in Long Island, but they also book New York, LA, and Miami.
Oh, okay. So you'll be more likely than not traveling when all this is done.
Right. And then still signed in Minneapolis, and then I'll need rep in LA and Miami too.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So moving on that, but taking on influencer work for the time being because modeling stuff has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
That's so cool. How do you how does like when you're doing influencer work, are you just doing it based on like one post, or is it like is there like a campaign that's put together for you?
So many companies want to do one post and like see how it goes.
Right.
The thing is like nothing's going to stick and make a difference if it's one post because it looks like an ad that you got paid for.
Right.
And you don't care about the product. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can make it look as genuine as you want to, but if you're posting one time for one company and that's it, there's no point.
Right.
You know, like as a business, lock into someone, invest in them, and work with them like 2 times a month. Or be sprinkled in their stories throughout the month and do like a post or 2. You know, like if it's just this one and done thing or even just 2 times, like you're not going to see the results. You want to be part of their lifestyle. So,
right.
Yeah.
It has to mesh in that regard. That makes a lot of sense.
It was interesting too because I've like always worked on the client side where I'm literally managing people like Gabby that we're paying for partnerships. So it was really cool to see because as a brand, you think like, oh, let's just try it one time. But like eventually you realize one post isn't going to do it, you know? So we had the same idea on, hey, we should kind of pivot both my clients and Gabby's work to have these long-term partnerships at, you know, a more affordable cost from a long-term perspective. And I feel like we've done a good job shifting, like all my clients are on board with it and you're doing a really good job.
Well, because would you rather pay 10 people to post something one time or would you rather have 2 people post something 5 times?
Yep.
Takes 12 times to make a sale.
It is, yeah.
Sales.
12 times to make a sale. Is that what it is?
It's like on average, it's 12 contacts before you make a sale.
Yeah.
Touch points.
That's always like my thing is, you know, we have like a bunch of cool sponsors now, which is funny because a year ago we had no shameless plugs. Now this year we're going to have a whole segment full of shameless plugs. Forthcoming, of course. But it's one of those things like we've never had to, like, that wasn't ever a sector of our brand. And now that it is, it's like, wow, I'm spending a lot of time doing like brand stuff, trying to figure out like how I can provide said company the most value, you know? But I love it because it's just like the best ones to work with are the ones that just give you the most creative freedom.
Totally.
Like
Right.
for
Because you have to find the sweet spot of their brand and my brand.
Right.
And how do I connect them?
Yeah. Like one of my favorite things is like we got these mugs. There he is, baby. This is Mark Dowdle.
Mark
How you
Dowdle.
doing, Mark?
I'm so confused.
He's our busy man. We just wanted
Wow.
to yeah, no. So we just got you some free busy and a thank you card for you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mark.
I like your
Appreciate
suit.
it, man.
Did he swim here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He swam here and
all
then
the way.
ran.
Wow.
Yes.
Whoa.
Did he bike too?
I believe so.
Wow.
I think it was the triple threat.
Good job, Mark.
Three-headed horse.
Mark, do you want some champagne?
He's got his third. He's on his he does want some champagne. He's going back, dude.
Prepared. I dove deep into this conversation, so I had to come prepared.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Do you need any refreshments at all? We have that whole stockpile.
Sure.
Oh, yes, Mark.
Yes, Mark.
Love that
Please.
energy.
Of course.
Do we have any other cups though,
we're
or?
Do we?
Another cup.
No.
I'll go grab one.
Yeah, yeah. He does, yeah,
He does it all.
We blew that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, read these. We got some thank you notes for you
Read
guys.
them right now.
Mark handwrote them for you guys. He knew you were coming on. He was like, I got to get you guys some swag.
Wow.
So this preemptive shameless plug happened awfully quick.
Almost the quickest.
Yeah. busy coffee, handwritten by Mark Dowdle.
Yeah. Welcome to the busy cold brew team.
Busy cold brew.
Team busy.
I love how he said to crumple up the bottle for ASMR. Was this a reference to last year's video?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
There's no way that Mark knows this much about me.
All right, can
Read
you
it. Hold on. Yeah,
give
read
us a little
this.
bit.
Mark, you're creeping me out, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Gabby, welcome back to the Backpocket podcast. Today is a wonderful opportunity to catch up and hear how you've been getting busy since EP 157.
That's
Ooh,
your episode.
Vintage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Don't worry. We won't ask you to crumple up our busy bottle for ASMR. Yikes. We just ask that you enjoy the fresh taste of some local and organic cold brew. Enjoy.
There you go.
Cute.
Clara,
I feel like mine's vulnerable.
is that not what we do on
I
this
love
podcast?
that. I love that.
Okay. Clara, welcome back to the Backpocket podcast. On episode 197, you announced your commitment to attend Boatchella 2020.
Let's go.
Thanks, COVID.
Classic.
If the event takes place, will you be honoring your commitment? P.S. Continue the do good, work hard mentality.
What?
Why was that funny?
I'm so confused.
We could all use a little more. We could all use a little more of both. Enjoy the busy cold brew. Because my Instagram bio is do good, work hard.
Oh.
Dude, you got you.
And I have always had a complex about my Instagram bio because it's like, if you don't have one, you're lame. If you have a weird quote, you're weird. So I've literally if Christina's listening to this, we go back and forth all the time on what's your Instagram bio be? And I've always tried to explain myself in one sentence, and I could never do it. So I landed on the very basic do good, work hard. And Mark totally roasted me on it.
Time to change it.
So,
Well, it looks like it's time for a pivot.
Yeah.
It might have been out of appreciation.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, we have no idea. Mark could be just complimenting you. Could
Yeah,
have
it
been
could be
read
out of
incorrectly.
love.
That's
Yeah.
actually a really funny joke, though, because I have a complex with my Instagram bio. So
Look,
he
you know,
probably
layers.
roasted me, didn't even know.
it's year 4 of the back pocket, and we finally came up with an elevator pitch for the first time ever.
For what?
Our podcast and
podcast,
our
yeah.
brand.
Well, let's
Can we
hear it.
hear it?
Yeah, it's
Enlighten us.
it's a comedy podcast highlighting stories of success from ordinary, average people doing the extraordinary.
Wow.
That's really good.
You all we ask is that you give it a listen and grab one thing, put it in your back pocket, and go use it in your own life.
You know, I really liked your Stool Presidente back pocket story.
Yes, that's a great.
I was laughing so hard.
So funny.
It was really funny.
Have you seen the Barstool documentary yet?
No. But I love Barstool Big Cat, so I should for sure watch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's episode 7.
One time I paid $100 for them to write Clara Cott's lawn service on the side of Vanny Woodhead.
Yes, that was so great.
Oh my God.
And people thought I actually had a lawn service, and I was like, no, I just had to make up a small business.
Right. Small business owner. Clara Cott's Lawn Service.
Yeah, so if you need a mow, I'll stay 6 feet away. Call me.
When the grass starts to grow a little bit, absolutely.
Call
And
me.
spring's turning.
It's 100%. No, that's nuts though. The yeah. So speaking of Mark Dell just jumping in here, but this is Busy Coffee. I mean, as much as we like to do shameless plugs or whatever, these are our boys. We came after these guys a year ago asking hey, we think we're a good brand and you guys are a good brand. Can we work together? And they're like, no.
I reached out
Come
to
on.
I reached
Come
out to
on.
them to shoot in
Banff.
Banff. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
See, no, we'll get you on board.
I
We'll
know.
get them on board actually, because now that we have them on board, this is a big win for us. Because,
Help us out
yeah,
next time.
Right.
seriously. No, it was just it was one of those things. It felt good to partner with someone again, just who we've tried to have for so long, and
Yeah.
they see the belief in it. And a lot of it has to do with Mark listening to every single one of our podcasts, working for
Cute.
Busy Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So-
Oh, he works for them?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah,
What? No, he's got a killer business title. It's fuck.
no
It's like
momentum.
momentum.
He's got it is volume.
He'll tell it. Dang it.
Yeah, no, it's something dope though.
Yeah.
Accelerator. I feel like accelerator
There's
somewhere in
something
there.
like that, yeah. Generating
yeah, I
a lot
don't
of
know.
velocity.
Velocity manager,
Yeah.
Whoa. Manager title.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what we've heard.
Manager of writing postcards.
Wow.
So, are either of you on TikTok yet?
I have an account,
Mm.
but I haven't executed any videos yet because I'm anxious and I want them to be perfect before I post anything and I need to stop.
Okay, so you are someone who loves to plan everything out, right?
Right. Huge planner.
Okay. All I'm going to ask you to do is just spend time digesting TikToks.
Oh, I have.
Okay. All you got to do is just start saving the ones you like.
Yep.
Do voiceovers, and you will do just fine on there. They have the creativity for you, which is like one of the first things ever. You don't have to plan a shoot to Banff and do all these things just to get something.
I never posted our Banff one.
I know.
I have
some
made
videos for TikTok.
Oh, for real? Hell yeah.
I've made one TikTok.
One?
I like this. Okay,
it's cute.
I used to hate TikTok. I couldn't be more addicted to something more than TikTok right now. Like I love TikTok.
I convinced her.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Because when you first log onto the app, you see all the kids dancing, but you have to spend time on it. So it like sorts everything.
It realizes you're not 18.
Yeah, I'm like, as cute as this is, like it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird for about a week, but now it's like all travel videos, dogs. I like the really sappy, corny, like I'm gonna tear up TikToks. What? I love them. Yeah,
like the ones that are just like that algorithm. Yet.
Yeah. I'm deep in it. If you want to take it for a spin,
okay.
It gets you in your feels.
You want X Games mode? Have you gotten that yet?
Nope.
No.
No. Oh, he's going X Games mode.
Oh, he's going X Games mode. All right. Oh, what?
Have you guys seen the one? This is like one of my favorites. It's like the little kid, and he's like, "Hey, Brandon, what you got on?" And then he goes, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it." I say that all the time.
I haven't heard either of these.
Really?
Yeah, mine's all like travel, homes, skincare.
You've seen the? Oh, hi there, friend.
Oh yes, I've seen.
It's me. You're human.
Cute.
People are just so creative, man. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand it.
I know
it's amazing. But the coolest thing for us, and I think it'll.
You guys are good at TikTok. I saw the Skyline one that went viral.
It did.
It went
well.
viral.
It did do well. But what's fun about it is like you can just choose any niche, make a video, dump it in that niche, and then it just does well. And like Andrew and I don't necessarily have a specific niche. We're just two white guys who have a podcast and like are trying to make this like fun, positive brand. You can pretty much apply that to just about anything.
Yeah.
So like
I just saw the coronavirus poster behind.
You're just seeing it?
the trifold?
It's really good.
Don't panic. Call your grandparents.
So this poster was crafted right around the time that you guys were in the airport at Banff. We still kind of thought Corona was kind of like
a joke.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Not as serious as it turned out to be.
Yeah.
And we were in St. Patrick's Day in Chicago at my parents' house, and we just spent the day creating this.
Buying Corona. We went to Target and bought Corona seltzers, a trifold, and then a couple things that Andrew's mom needed. Andrew's mom also said, "You better get gas and fill up now. You never know what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
Right.
And then Andrew's mom said, "Don't ask questions." And Andrew was asking me questions about it, and I said, "Dude, did you read the text? It said, get gas. Don't ask questions."
Mm-hmm.
And he was already disobeying. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just like to tout that because you were trying to be disobedient, and I was saying you
put me
shouldn't be. Right.
Yeah, I know. I respect that.
Anyways, but yes, we made this poster there, and it didn't age well. None of it aged well. Like we said, dogs can't get coronavirus. I think dogs have coronavirus now.
No, I think that was proven wrong. I think that was fake news.
Okay.
Also, it's really sad because when that was being spread, like people were putting their dogs out on the street because they're like, "Oh my gosh, we don't want to get corona from our dogs," and all the shelters are like essentially closed or limited hours or whatever. So it like kind of created this like negative effect on animals.
Yeah.
So I think they debunked that.
Yeah, I think the most frustrating part about all of it, like, and we're going through it right now, is like all those like collaborative shoots that you want to do, or like videos, or I mean, for us, like we're trying to put together this really cool outdoor podcast with a client or one of our friends, I should say, and it's just like it gets pushed off every freaking week, and it's like we can't go out.
Set a date to anything.
Right. But to the same degree, it's like you can go outside and run around it or whatever, film it all on your phone, and what's the difference?
Yeah.
At this point, honestly. It's kind of crazy how you can just capture pretty much next to everything on your phone now.
Right.
It's crazy.
Like it's really dumb. It's not dumb, but it's weird to me how we can get, like, we did a workout the other week and we had one of our buddies follow us on rollerblades with a iPhone gimbal.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like,
one of the coolest shots.
One of the coolest shots ever shot on an iPhone. Like, there's a reason why. I just think with like this TikTok is just so good at, like, you can edit everything on there, you film it, and then put it out there right away. It's like, how many man hours do you spend like editing your freaking pictures and all this stuff? Like
your YouTube.
I don't edit pictures.
Oh, you don't?
No, usually photographers edit.
Right.
But your YouTube at first was hard.
Yeah,
like a
really
YouTube
hard.
video takes like 4 hours.
It's a long time to cut everything up and do the audio and do the coloring and
Yeah. What are you trying to make your YouTube page into?
I'm going through like a total rebrand right now.
Oh,
so
you
I've
are?
been kind of quiet because I've been saving stuff up. I've been practicing YouTube and been filming a lot of videos.
Okay.
Just as practice. And then I want to start posting like everything Gabby, like everything I do, every piece of my life, and make it a full like lifestyle of like, this is how I live, these are my goals, this is what I've struggled with, and circle back like every 2 months and be like kind of like a progress journal almost. But then show like, you know, the basic, here's where I want to travel to, here's my morning routine, here's stuff like that.
Life goals.
Yeah.
What is your morning routine right now? What do you think what is something that you've done that you think you've gained the most from during this like quarantine time?
Ooh.
I've stopped working. Non-stop working.
So what have you been
Well, I haven't stopped. I've actually been working a lot, but a lot less than usual.
Right.
Okay. I think just the fact of like slowing down has been huge for me.
Yeah.
What have you found yourself like filling your time with since that time has been taken away, that work time?
You know what I've been doing? I never used to play video games. I've been playing Sims 4 before bed every night for like 30 minutes. I love my Sims. Like they make me so happy, and their mom.
I was at dinner for their house, or I can't talk. I was at house. Help. I was at their house for dinner the other day, which Gabby's my quarantine crew. So like we were together when this all happened. So like it's fine if we don't distance. But
I mean, we're all 6 feet apart.
We're
an essential business. I
mean,
we're good.
We are an essential business.
We sanitize the mics after every time. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So Zach makes us dinner, and then we like are done eating, and they both like I'm like sitting at the table like working a little bit, and I look over, and Zach has his like headset on. He's playing Call of Duty. And Gabby like has her computer out right next to him playing Sims. And I'm like, I was like interrupting. I was like,
speak.
They weren't talking. They were just sitting there playing video games. So I was like, I'm going to go. See you guys. And they both were like, okay, bye. I'm like,
yep.
Okay, see you guys.
Nightly routine. We just play video games next to each other, but we don't interact.
They weren't speaking, and they were both like, Zach gets very animated though.
Oh yeah. Screaming.
Yep.
Okay, wait, I kind of have a silly goose idea that I think has some legs. Sims 4, right?
Yeah.
We should you should live stream on Twitch you playing Sims, and then like catch people up on your Sims characters. And
oh my god, and make a lifestyle around them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're trying to do everything,
but then
Gabby,
I should kill all of them.
No, you decide.
Yeah.
Whoa,
yikes.
You're in control.
Be really entertaining.
We don't need to make this Black Mirror, but we can also, write out a storyline. It would be kind of sick. My whole point is like if you're really going for everything Gabby, find every way to stream and get people get your awareness out there. Like the creator of Twitch live streamed himself for 24 hours for like a whole year straight, and then and then realized that like he found one niche, tripled down, and then made Twitch. But he was like the first person to just like live stream everything he did.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. But now everybody you can live stream on everything, right? So you might, if you're really going for the everything Gabby approach, like find those like pockets of things that will do that you can live stream, and you're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna play Sims regardless. You might as well just do that and then have people watch you play Sims, And I don't know. On top of that, like there's not a lot of 21-year-old girls streaming Sims 4 on Twitch.
Yeah, there's a niche,
right,
for sure.
I'm just saying, we're trying to start Backpocket Gaming right now.
Oh my gosh,
that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Where we have like a bunch of people who just play video games, like kind of not come under our brand, but just like be associated with our streaming platform and just freaking go. Because we have so many people that play video games. We're like, why not?
Right.
Does that have legs, Clara? Are you gonna join in?
Come on, give us some backup.
Yeah, come on, give us something here.
You guys, I am not privy to this whole video game world.
People love to sit and watch other people
you're
play
like
video
45,
games.
right?
I'm literally pushing 50, and I just
Clara,
don't
no.
even.
She always is like, well, as a 30-year-old, and I'm like, you are not even 30 yet. Like, why are you saying this?
So young, but
You
yet so old compared to us.
Ugh, yes. I cried on my 28th birthday. I was like, you know what? This is it. Damn, I'm 30.
No, you're rounding up. That's a negative. That's a negative roundup. You're 28.
Right.
I haven't been
You're
around.
still in your 20s.
So young.
I don't know. But yeah, the video game thing never really, like, I didn't get how much people actually do this.
It's because you've never tried playing Sims 4.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay.
You can build
speaking
and design
of being,
their houses. You're like an interior decorator, and then you're like a mother because you're taking care of them.
This is when I started feeling really old. Gabby and I were having a conversation about MySpace and your top 8, and she didn't know what that was. Do you guys know what that is?
I barely do. Yeah.
Yeah, barely.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to take a break.
Sorry, sweetie.
I'm going to see you guys later. You don't know what a top 8 is?
Well, I know what it is on MySpace, but I
Okay, this was
never
like
a part of it.
looking back, it's like the most dramatic, like manipulative thing that Tom from MySpace could have done. So like you have your top 8 and then you can change it, right? So like I went to a little Catholic school, so we didn't really have much to talk about, but you'd go home and people would change their top 8 based on like who got in a fight at school, who broke up with each
You
other.
got to pick your top 8.
Oh yeah, and you could change it at any time.
Okay.
So you'd like go home from school, you'd hear like, oh my God, so-and-so broke up. You'd be like, no way. You'd get onto MySpace, and sure enough, the girl would go from like number 1 to like number 3. Like it was super.
That's so petty.
It was super petty.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it
Starting
really
arguments.
is like, and Gabby was like, that's crazy because for my generation, it was like a big thing. Like I had my friend named Marnie. Hey, Marnie. She was my number 1. And then like, I think I started like dating this guy and I moved her down.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
like, people got upset about that stuff. They're like, I've been your number 1 friend and whatever. I sound so old right now. Marcus is nodding. Marcus, how old are you?
I'm 20.
No wonder you didn't want any champagne.
Ask him again. Ask him again. It never hurts.
Yep.
All
polite.
right.
To be fair,
That's-
though, I did know about the MySpace top 8.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Attaboy, Marcus.
Thanks,
Marcus,
You've
backing
always
me
been-
up.
You've always been there for us.
I like you, Marcus.
Were you an active AIM user? AIM was like,
Oh, yeah.
AIM.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's talk about our screen names. What was yours?
mine was Fireball 36.
Wow.
Was that an alcohol reference?
Nope, I had
Okay.
a beta fish named Fireball and a hermit crab named Fireball.
I love hermit crabs.
Like Fireball and then Fireball 2? Or was it
Nope,
just like...
both fire. One died, and then I got the next one, and then I named it Fireball
You're-
again.
And you literally just said next man up.
next man up, Fireball.
It's
Wow.
time.
Both were. I was a red beta fish, and then my hermit crab, I let him crawl into a nice little red shell.
Wow.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mine was...
Consistency. Right?
Mine
Yeah.
still is actually my gamer tag is Sick Nasty 55
Why does that not surprise me?
because you're looking at him, dude. Sick
Hashtag-
and nasty.
Let's change it. Let's change it to Decky Necky.
Decky Necky.
Gabby still has nightmares from that picture.
I do.
You have nightmares of
Yeah,
my neck.
it haunts me.
What?
It
It's
haunts
a
me.
pretty
It doesn't
yeah.
fit.
You
the
did
body.
comment. You're like, I can't unsee this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very aggressive.
For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, when I was a sophomore in college, my picture, like my player card picture, I just had the biggest neck ever. It turns out it said I was 195 in my player card. I was like definitely 210. And
210 pounds, and the photography guy was as someone was walking up every single time he said, make sure you look down because it'll make your neck look huge if you're looking up. So Deck hears this and he's like, oh, perfect.
Fuck it. I was like, what'd you say?
The base of your neck is wider than the top of your head.
Yeah. Like, that's why it looks so wrong.
I mean, I'm
like,
no
as a
proportion
human
expert.
body, it's not right. Like, the anatomy is false.
It looks like a bad photo edit job where a girl was like trying to make
Yes.
herself look
like
tall,
on Facetune.
and she like pulled her neck. Like that's what it looks like.
I
Yeah.
gave myself a little extra trapezoids there.
Yeah.
and we're gonna stretch this.
Yeah. The babes are gonna love the traps.
So dumb.
You should have seen his thighs. Just as wide.
Yeah, dude. I was
Wow.
210.
Probably wider.
Wider, right.
Yeah.
I was a thick boy, dude. I was probably the size, like my width. I was the size of not one but two trash cans put side by side.
You have to make a. Have you seen the TikTok that's like,
Damn, he thick.
Damn, boy, he thick, boy.
Way ahead of you.
You guys did that.
We
That's
did
a
do that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
We're
the
already
neck.
there.
To the neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did I miss
Damn,
that?
boy.
Oh, that's my favorite TikTok. Oh my god, it's so good.
But that's back to my point. Like, you can pretty much do any of these different
Right.
like
Yeah.
TikToks. You don't have to dance. Like, I don't know if you're
can't
trying to
dance.
dance a
She's
lot.
not trying to dance.
You're not trying to dance.
No.
Either are we, honestly. So I think
I would
you'll
as
be
like
just
a
fine.
joke.
Right.
Right.
That's the only time your deck has danced.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's danced on our TikTok.
I did.
As a joke, you got up on open mic, or not open mic, one of your shows, and you're like, I'm going to do a TikTok real quick. And then you dance.
I did do that.
And that was it. And
Fuck,
that's
dude,
how you
that's
started
so
an open
depressing
mic.
to think about. That was
Yeah.
the last time I was on stage.
Oh.
Was when I did a TikTok on stage
Sad.
and just wasted a solid minute. If it did well, crushed. Absolutely
Went
crushed.
viral.
Hey, that's what we do. That's why we do it. You know,
Yeah.
that's literally why we do it. Okay, so Gabby, you've never been out of the country.
No, never been overseas.
Overseas. Sorry.
Yep.
I stand corrected. Where would you want to go first place?
That's a good question.
It's really hard.
It is hard. There's a lot of other countries.
I mean,
in
like
the
I
world.
literally haven't seen anything overseas, so I have
That's
no
crazy.
idea like what I'm even missing.
There's a lot
what
to
I mean?
There's a
Yeah.
lot to catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of traveling to do. Italy has always been of interest.
Yep.
I know a lot of people
Too
who have
soon.
had fun in Spain. I think Australia looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
New Zealand.
Yeah. I
New
think it'd be
Zealand
really
would be
cool to
dope.
check out some Asian countries because I think there'd be a really big culture shock there.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yes.
Have
and
you guys
South
been to
Africa.
China?
I've been to Southeast Asia, close to China,
Counts.
close. Have
Does
you?
count.
No,
Where have you? Have you?
never been to an Asian country before.
Yeah, you guys, you guys should just come on the Backpocket World Tour with us. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to
A
Thailand.
lot of segments for Backpocket.
Yeah, we got a lot of things in the works, dude. I want to go. I want to go
a
to.
travel podcast would be
That
cool.
would be really
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talk about everything you see and do.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
then talk to the locals and stuff.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I
That's the
want to
goal.
do at some point is like be able to take it on the road and then because like
Yeah.
you guys have I think you texted me earlier like I have a perfect person for you to have
Yeah.
on the podcast next or whatever. So like that's how we build.
Well, and
All
you guys
of
need
our
to have
guests.
Zach on the podcast.
Yes.
He is a story.
Yes. No, we do need to have
He's-
Zach on.
He's
Turn
also
his
really
life around.
entertaining.
Oh, yeah. He's very entertaining.
He
He's
was-
like an Energizer bunny.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Like
doesn't
he like
stop.
runs 14 miles and then he's like, okay, all right, let's do stuff. It's like, whoa.
Well, actually, he can't stop running until whatever he's listening to is done. His brain doesn't let him stop.
So if it's like
Yeah.
a Two Friends Big Booty mix, he's got to go the whole hour.
The whole way, he
Yeah.
can't stop running.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
What
a
we got to
hero.
throw him on this
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
while we record a 2-hour session.
It'll be a really long
Yeah.
Runs for
podcast.
2 hours.
Yeah.
I actually DM'd him a long time ago.
He
Because
is notorious for not responding.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't respond to me. But I just know after watching him at Lincoln Drink, I was like, what a good guy to probably talk to about like throwing Bochella
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
and like different venue play like spots. You know, all the just
Yep.
the ins and outs of like throwing that kind of event. I feel like he's the man because he started Snowdo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. And now he has this the whole venue of Fillmore.
The
He
Fillmore.
runs and
then he
books all
also
the.
books the Varsity.
Damn.
And then he does 515 Alive, which is a camping festival in Iowa.
What?
And he does Zombie Pub Crawl.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
He
it's a
is the
lot.
Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably feeling a little
A little sad.
on edge right now.
Yeah, because all that stuff's canceled.
Oh, yeah.
And no predictable timetable.
Right. Like, you can't say, like, oh, yeah, we'll open up doors at this point. This is when we'll schedule the show. Because that stuff is booked out so far in advance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. How do you think it's gonna work when we come back then? Because
Yeah, has he talked?
are we gonna just be doing like branded masks and stuff? Or
So we've talked a lot about this. So what's
Great branding
tricky-
opportunity.
What's tricky is when stuff starts opening up, there's going to be capacities on how many people can be in a room.
yeah,
So if you say only 250 people can be in a room, social distanced, doesn't really work for a concert.
Kind of awkward.
And if it does, what artist would fly out for 250 people in a room, spaced out? And then how much are those tickets? And do you even want to be there
Yeah.
in the crowd? Or are you going to feel unsafe at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when are people, like, festivals and stuff? There was a festival in Germany where people pulled up in their cars like a drive-in.
interesting.
Like, you can't have a concert until there's enough people to fill the space and be packed because a concert is feeding off the energy in the room.
Intimacy, right?
Mhm.
Like if it's just you and the artist, that sucks. Like that'd be kind of cool. But
I was like,
but like that doesn't
It's very,
work.
very different.
That's not
Yeah.
a concert,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you
So-
can't pay that guy.
Yeah, it's a TED Talk.
Right.
It's a TED Talk.
Yeah.
No, that's super interesting. I think a lot of it has to do with like the social aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're saying 250 people, or if you pack the room tighter and everybody's just closer together, part of me says, okay, if you are saying, yes, I want to go to said concert and be in a room where it's less than 6 feet apart, and the company who's putting it on is legally allowed to do something like this, then part of your waiver now is just a health part of your waiver, where it's like,
Right.
I am okay being closer than this, and I accept all responsibility
Well-
from any sort of sickness or anything, because
And the venues are going to have all of these cleaning fees added on. So cost-wise,
Yeah.
oh my
like,
god,
It's more
yeah.
expensive.
it's through the roof. And same with restaurants. Like, they're going to have to, like, everyone's going to be paying so much more to do any type of service because you have to cover all of those bases now.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like sad to think about. Like when you're up against that many feats, like how do you
When there's
how do you
an
bounce back?
immunization, like,
The vaccine
or
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
And then if they can even make one, like, there's how many sicknesses that don't have
Vaccines.
that, yeah.
And
'Cause it's always evolving and whatnot.
Right.
Mhm.
well, it's crazy to think about, like, for the predictability aspect is, how do you know when the time is right to start having these events? What's the difference going to be from like right now to 30 days from now?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like, because you can't see this happening at all. Like, you don't see coronavirus. We don't see anyone getting tested. Like, our actual day-to-day interaction doesn't change besides what people are telling us. Like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. And we're like, I agree, because I just want to mitigate the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we like, there's no way of knowing when is the right time. And like,
Yeah.
anyone in restaurant businesses, retail, events,
Mhm.
anything, modeling, going out and shooting like live podcasts, like there's no prediction to like how to figure out how to go about it besides just
Yeah.
being sanitizing and stuff like that.
Two of my best friends. Well, the girls, Courtney,
Courtney's.
Jenna, and Paige, the
Yeah.
twins that we pranked you guys with.
Yeah.
They're ER, ICU nurses. So I mean, they're still working. Like, they're on the front lines.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's super interesting because you hear like all of their stories is just stuff that like we would have no idea that's going on. And
Mhm.
it's like they're essential workers. They're on the front lines. They're like dealing with all this stuff, but all of surgery is cut, right? So like, how do hospitals make money? 50% of their revenue typically is from surgery.
Yeah. Mayo
So-
Clinic is
Oh,
losing
yeah.
$1.5 billion a
So
month.
these nurses are being furloughed because they can't pay them.
Right.
And like so it's a double-edged sword. Like there's people right now who are making more money at home collecting unemployment and plus $600 a week than Jenna and Paige are making as nurses.
Right.
And it's like this whole different world that we don't see, that like, I mean, we need those people, but like they can't get paid without surgery happening. And so it's like you're asking, when do you just like start being more careful but doing surgery so that we're not losing the nurses because there's no revenue going into the hospitals.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, it's exhausting to think about.
Yeah, it's all just a chain too. Like everything
Yeah.
touches the next thing, right? So you're always just like, it doesn't end. It's like dominoes.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
crazy.
the biggest effect is not actually the sickness, but what it's actually doing to like the economy side.
Oh
of it.
yeah, for
And,
sure.
Well, and like socially, like we're
Socially,
talking
right.
here about people being comfortable in environments when things quote unquote go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't foresee anything really like going back to normal until the majority says it's normal.
Right.
Like the first we were talking about, like, man, if we play our cards right, Coachella could be the first. Like,
What's the date?
August 8th, which might be early. Who the hell knows, right? I have no idea.
Right.
It
We're-
was
we
Ju-
kinda
it
just-
was June 20th, and then
Okay.
like, we got to push it back.
We're like, we gotta
Yeah.
push it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Why
So
not?
now
If
it's
it has to be,
August 8th,
it's August 8th.
Okay.
So
and that's without even checking to see if the boat's available yet, because I haven't done that.
yeah, we haven't done that, but I'm
It's
sure
probably
that it's
available.
available.
It's probably
If it
It
isn't,
could just be a giant boat party like 4th of July where you pull up and
Yeah, tie up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could be.
Because then you're social distanced.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
there it is.
Mhm.
You are welcome.
And then
Wow.
we like flying or not flying, boating,
Well, if planes going to Coachella.
drop in, helicopter style. No, we get like not a barge, but something for like the band to play in the middle of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well,
Or
actually,
just a pontoon. Zach
yeah.
did this on Big Island. He
yes,
had
this is my
Ganja
jam.
White Night and put speakers on there, and they spun on a pontoon. And then everyone tied up boats together, and they had a giant rager on Big Island.
Yeah.
They got noise complaints, though. They got in a lot
What
of
happened to
trouble for
Two
it.
Friends, guys? What happened to getting Two Friends for Coachella?
They're $30,000.
Yeah, they're so
That's what
expensive.
happened. And we're like,
I think we should start a GoFundMe.
Okay.
I'm for it.
Sure.
I'd love to have them, but I don't have the 30,000, and we can't find.
But our
anyone to-
sponsors.
We could
might.
ask Zach for some help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's actually what I,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Zach had alluded to a story where he had brought, it might have been this Ganja White Night one, where he brought this huge event to like some
Yes.
island or something and threw this massive party.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that sounds exactly what I want to do with Coachella. I got to talk to
Yeah.
this guy. So that was it, though. How that came full circle fast.
They didn't announce they were doing it, though, until, like, it was happening. Like,
Right.
they were like, we're at Tonka playing right here. So then people just started, like,
flocking
swarming.
towards it.
Flocking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the coolest shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should for sure get Two Friends. I think I'm the biggest Two Friends fan. Probably
I love
ever.
Two Friends. I think they're killing it. They're
Do you
blowing up.
remember when you were like, hey, can you message Two Friends for us?
Yeah.
I like chat with them now.
Sick.
I'm like, hey, what's this song in your remix? I'm a really big fan.
Well, you were like,
They're like, okay, you're so lame. Get out of our DMs.
well, didn't you? I mean, they used to respond to DMs all the time, and I think
they're like getting really big.
that's what I'm saying.
I think they're getting really big.
They're definitely got to a point where,
Rightfully so. They're so good.
yeah, they're very
Love
good.
them.
Well, ever since they went on that tour with Matoma, that's when it really like started to pop off.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and then you got freaking like backstage passes to go fucking be backstage and stuff.
My good friend who I used to work with, her boyfriend, sorry, now husband, is like best friends with Win and Woo. The
Okay.
DJs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were just there with Win and Woo. But
Oh, were they a part of that lineup too?
yeah, it was Win and Woo, Matoma, Two Friends.
Oh my god, that
So.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. That's
Big
so
Booty
nuts.
remix.
The Big Booty remix, dude.
What are they on now? 20?
17.
17.
17
Duh.
popped off. Absolutely popped off.
I don't
think
listen to
that's-
Two Friends.
That's all we
I
listen
don't
to in
either.
Canada. Gabby, okay, this is a fun fact. Gabby listens to like dirty rap.
Not dirty. It's just like intense.
It's pretty
Not
dirty.
Dude, that's
It's like
someone-
it's like actual
My-
rap music.
Yeah.
It's not like white girl
But then
rap.
I'll also
music.
listen to like EDM, happy, upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Flume.
Yeah.
No.
Kygo.
Flume is so depressing.
Yeah.
Flume is like in your feelings, like, oh,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Are
I just
you-
think of his beats as like I love his beats. I don't really listen to the lyrics.
Oh, you're a Beats guy. hey?
Scratch his
He's
head.
like,
Oh, did I say that?
like, oh.
That's not gonna age well.
Marcus, edit that out.
I just like the sounds, not the words.
Cut me. Do you ever listen to a song like that where it's like,
Well, that's kind of how I operate with every song.
yeah?
You
I'm just
only
like,
listen to the beat?
I can't remember lyrics for the life of me.
What?
Oh my God, I only listen to the words. I could sing every word of every song I've ever heard.
That's
Really?
so not
Oh.
true.
Yeah. I'm the guy that's like
Do you wanna
muttering in the
try?
back trying to fit in. Mumbling
Really?
over every lyric. Yeah. I know Kid Cudi, that's about it.
I think songs are just ballads. Like, I like that they're stories. They're like, I think
That was
music is.
so soft.
Yeah.
Is this the softest you've seen me be?
Yeah.
Cute.
This is,
No, but I seriously, Marcus is nodding again. Thank you, Marcus. I think I'm gonna get Marcus a good champagne before this is over. I think music is like the best art form. I don't know. I just think it tells stories. It's like very personal. Whatever. I'm done being soft.
Yeah, they're ballads. That's all you needed to say.
I told you guys I like the super juicy gay TikToks.
all right. Here's your new Instagram. Here's your new Instagram bio. I listen to ballads only.
It's got to be way better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. There's a yeah. That
Yeah,
wasn't that
because,
good.
yeah.
Not approved.
Someone hasn't been doing his stand-up routine.
Flagged.
I don't
Dougie,
know.
we got to get you back on stage. Should we hold a show here? Socially distanced comedy show?
That would actually be pretty
That'd be
funny.
pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I'd come to that.
No, that'd be actually very, very good idea. Absolutely. My other idea I was thinking of was just like posting up outside at Lake of the Isles and just throwing on like a street performing type set.
Can we just talk about something? If COVID's gonna spread through Minnesota, it's gonna be at Lake of the Isles. I mean, the entire state.
Oh my God, it's packed. It is packed.
I mean, the entire state of Minnesota has been at Lake of the Isles for the past 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Roads are shut down.
Calhoun,
It's the hot zone.
Like Isles. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
a hotbed.
Yeah.
That's why I want to go there for a set. I'll have some people to talk to.
Oh, it's gonna be your biggest audience. I mean, literally the entire state's there. So streets, just put your stage in the middle of the road. It's closed down.
Or go in a parking lot.
I'm gonna stand
of
on
a
the
building
bench.
that has no cars, and then you
The
have
top of the warming house. It's still in the water.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You go in the middle of the lake too.
Yeah, I've been doing that every week.
Wow.
I've been running. That lake is kind of gross, low key.
Yeah, there's no infiltration or like whatever it's called.
It doesn't flow.
Yeah, no
it's just
flow.
all it's
Stagnant.
They tested the
had
waters.
bacteria stuff in it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what?
It's
and you couldn't swim in it.
Yeah, it's the dirtiest lake because there's no like.
We were going in it last Friday.
That's
at
a little gross.
5 in the morning.
I think you have COVID.
Oh.
Test them.
I
Test them.
think you have cough. Fuck.
Well, he had a massive cut on his knee, and I go, you should scrub that so you don't get a staph infection.
No,
Yeah, no,
seriously.
really.
That's honestly
you, sir,
pretty
should
bad.
Get that checked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you put hydrogen peroxide on it?
No.
Okay, I'll
Put
bring you
water on
some.
it.
He recorded
No.
an Instagram video.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well,
Yeah.
that counts.
That should help.
Yeah, the
Not.
motivation that I was speaking kind of.
Oh, this makes me immune to all staph infections. Here you go.
Put it on the gram.
Put it on the gram.
Content.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But no, I did. Yeah, I probably should not jump in that lake.
Nope. Don't do
Ugh.
it.
Usually
Interesting.
got to run farther to like.
How's Cedar Lake? Yeah, do you guys know
Because
anything
we've been
about
going
Cedar
down
Lake?
for a while.
I have no
Or
idea.
not much better. They're kind of connected, you know?
I biked around Cedar Lake on accident for the first time like 4
How
days
do you
ago.
accidentally bike around a lake?
Yeah.
I live over there and I didn't like realize the trail system connected so close, so I just hopped on my bike, hit Cedar Lake. I was like,
You
wow,
should've
this
said,
is
like-
really pretty.
You're like, let's run this thing back, dude.
I was like, wow, damn. My bike seat was really low though, so it was kind of awkward because I was like biking around Cedar Lake with my legs. So it was a short-lived bike ride, but it was really pretty.
Clara, what's your brand nowadays?
Elaborate.
I just want to know.
Personal
Like,
or business?
is there two different things?
Yes, they're always separate.
Always?
Well, yeah.
Really?
I mean, there's
Personal and business. Like you think
your
our
business is more behind the scenes, and your personal brand is what you put out.
Interesting. I feel we're definitely just I feel like I'm both. Like my
Well,
brand.
yeah, everyone is both. You have a business.
No,
and
but they
you have a
work
personal brand.
together.
Oh yeah.
They talk to each other, but they're
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like my brand.
They're like siblings.
Yes.
Okay, because my business brand and
Bunk
my
beds.
and my personal brand, they like live in the same room.
Yeah,
They're like married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Okay.
it's fine.
Well, it's just like
As long as it's like a good marriage.
yeah, I don't
Is it
like they
healthy?
go to church every Sunday. I
Okay.
like they're happily married. They've been
Okay.
together for
How many years?
24
Wow.
24
Wow,
years.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. no.
Wait, what's your personal brand?
Yeah, Ducky.
Yeah.
They're the same. I'm just like
But what is it?
I'm a,
Yeah. Elevator pitch. Come on, tell people what you do.
I'm a DIY makeup artist.
Oh, wow.
I travel. I'm global.
You
now.
travel.
Yeah, I travel.
He goes to Thailand and talks about
Yeah, I go to
Oh.
Thailand. I just have like I don't know, my brand. God, it's just like evolves on the thing that I think is funny, and I just tag it at the end of my name or whatever I'm doing. Decky Thailand was,
I just think
hot
your
in
brand is
January.
Decky. Like that's the
Yes.
one common denominator.
Yeah, but that's
Sometimes
also
there's hashtags.
right. That's about it.
Sometimes
Deck, you literally said what your personal brand was on Saturday night.
I did.
Yeah, you said. Do you remember what you said?
I don't know.
No, you just go. Greg asked you, and you said, "I'm the goofy guy that takes life to not so seriously."
Yep.
That's literally what you said. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, that
that's
actually
cute.
that works."
Yeah.
I was sitting right here. I was like, "Oh, that works. That's a
Yeah.
good personal
Put that
brand."
in your bio.
wow.
The goofy guy that doesn't take life too seriously.
Yeah.
That's about it. And I
And
also
that's
happen
Decky.
to run a podcast in that brand.
Wow.
So it's like
That's really
that's
good.
but my question is like is Backpocket not me? Is not the goofy guy who doesn't take life too seriously? Because in my mind it's just the same thing. Like if I post like a video of me on this page and it'll do the same exact thing if not better, on Backpocket. So like I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Like, so is your brand and your business are two totally separate lanes?
No, they're not totally separate.
Totally separate. Okay.
They
So like,
talk
They
to each
work.
other.
Yeah, they work together, but they're also in different areas.
okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like my
Your personal brand is what you would be if you left your business.
yeah.
So what would that be for you then, Gabby?
I don't know.
See?
She's working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it, but they are separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Clara?
I don't know. I should know how to answer this because I usually go to my clients and get mad at them that they can't tell me what they do. But I think my personal brand, I don't know. My personal brand has been low key lately. I feel like Gabby and I are doing.
We have a lot of stuff in the works.
Yeah, we've been doing
so we've been a little quiet, and then
That's the business side.
Yeah.
The personal side, though, is kind of that's
no
an
business.
thing,
my
right?
business side has never been busier. So my two main clients are like absolutely flourishing during Corona, which has been interesting to navigate. One's an at-home food, fully prepared meals service.
Just perfect.
Shout out to Origin Meals.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep. And then the other one is a social media platform actually that is about to take off.
Sprouter.
She's gonna sprout soon. But yeah, so we've been
No, the app. There's a there's a
What's
St. Thomas app called Sprouter. I've been told not to talk about it, and here I am.
Here we are, name dropping.
No, it's just like a thing that puts all the apps together. And
I don't really know what it is.
I have no idea. That's
waters them and lets them sprout.
Yeah, Sprouter.
No, let's get
Someone
back.
should tell them that sprout is already a thing. But it's fine.
I did.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
We use Sprout.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of like marrying personal brands with business brands right now.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
'Cause it's really easy to
Actually,
do.
this is a really good.
Oh my
this
gosh,
is a good segue to our gifts. So
oh shit.
So
we
we have
brought
gifts that
gifts.
tie in to our new business that we want to give you guys as a shameless plug.
So a little platform. We're gonna be launching this.
I don't know when.
Within the next 2 months. It's gonna be like a social media interactive platform. That's all we're gonna tell you guys. Different than my other client. But yeah, more to come on it, and you'll.
A social media.
This is
platform.
something that I've wanted to make for 2 years, and I haven't had the time to do it, and now I'm finally like putting the foot down. It's happening.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. So look for that.
Can you tell us more what it is? It's
Not
social
yet.
media. Well, just like
No.
a little bit of the base.
networking.
Okay.
There's gonna be parties. That's all
Yeah.
you need to know.
Well, okay. So if you being a part of this, like the networking aspects, you'll be in touch with other people like around the Twin Cities. Is it, and then parties around the Twin Cities, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So it's gonna be like a plug locally to kind of grow.
Gotcha. And they will interact live as well.
Yeah.
Or like once this whole situation.
Maybe.
turns on, of course.
Maybe we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know yet.
Well,
Yeah.
this is
Well, we do
sweet.
know, but we don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got you guys. We got you guys some merch so that you could wear it on the back pocket as an unofficial sponsor.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Let's
so
see it.
come open your presents.
Oh, I know where this is going. I have such a good feeling about where this is going.
Oh, they're ISIS.
Dude, they have
sure
to be.
ISIS in there.
If this
Yeah,
isn't
if
an
there's
ice,
not an
I'm
ice
gonna
in
be
here-
so mad.
Yeah.
You understand how mad I'm gonna be if this isn't an ice? Oh my god. Yeah, of course it is. Fuck yeah, dude. She got us again.
Yeah, of course it's a fucking ice. And she wrapped it in all of the toilet paper
All
that
of
the
the-
people wanted at the
No,
market.
it's
No,
for
no,
you.
it's-
That's part of the gift.
Yeah, she just gave us a bunch of free toilet paper.
And then we got ice.
God.
Yeah, save that. There's a shortage.
No, we got Mike's
Yeah.
harder this time.
I might have gotten ice. I haven't gotten through mine yet.
I'm in shambles.
They didn't have any ices.
So
So we're just
Oh,
gonna
she
pretend.
did it again,
Tradition
dude.
is tradition, boys.
All right. Yet again. I knew it. I was like,
I knew it.
look, I'm not.
I do like the wrapping of the like a
I was
real
like-
wrapping in then the.
I was like, Gabby, they're expecting this, so these things cannot move in a container. They can't roll around.
Get in positions, right? Eh?
Assume the position.
We can't do a Clara podcast without getting iced.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
I love hearing the
I know.
sound of you guys drinking these.
I think
the
Decky's gonna win
ASMR.
again. Oof.
Dicky wins. Ooh.
Oh,
That was nasty.
that was really. something.
Those are good. By the way, I'll say it.
Better than an ice.
Really?
Oh, you guys want to know a fun
They
fact?
don't have Smirnoff ices at the MGM in Uptown. So.
You're
And is
kidding.
it because people were abusing them? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
3 times the charm, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was literally the third time we've done it.
Ever?
Well, no, you've iced
You've
us.
iced
Oh,
us
I was
3
like,
times.
wait, that means I've given you every ice you've ever had.
You guys are the 263rd podcast, and every time you've been on, it's now 3 times you have
Wow.
delivered.
Whoa.
Hey, no, do you guys know Mike's?
Anyway, we don't have merch, so
Yeah,
what
that
the
was a
fuck?
lie. We just wanted to ice you.
I was
Mike's you.
I was
Not
like,
even a sticker?
No.
we'll get you one.
We have a name, but no merch yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are actually gonna do
Yeah,
something?
That's not made up. That's
Yeah,
actually
it's
real.
actually happening.
But we had to
Yeah.
like give a cover story for what was in the bag because
Yeah, I was like, are you guys
Yeah.
being super vague because you guys are like just starting this off, or are you guys being super vague because you're icing us and it's a hoax?
both? Both.
Perfect.
Strategically both.
And
Yeah.
that's why it works.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you have a name for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we hear that name?
No.
Damn it.
What's the deal with
Sorry.
that?
It's just
Because it gives away a piece of the business in the name.
like any good branding, the name tells what we do. So
Yeah.
No,
So if I
no
say
one
that, it's
hears
kinda like-
Backpocket and knows what we do.
podcast, you have the word podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. We do
Mm-hmm.
do that. But okay, so back to the branding thing though, like Andrew and I, speaking of, I guess we're all people in a room right now trying to we're all rebranding. This is the rebrand podcast. It's a fucking rebrand podcast. We're all fucking coming here together.
Hashtag Dougie rebrand.
And we just
Well, I think it's actually just a giant intervention.
yeah. Everything's just turning on me. Yeah. Absolutely. No, but what I was getting at is like Andrew and I, working on this podcast for 3 years, a little over that. Like we want to be a brand.
Time.
We want to be a brand though. Thank you.
Yeah.
But like it's not just a podcast anymore. There's so much more to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure out, the best way to present to people that we're no longer just a podcast. We started as a podcast. We're much bigger than a podcast. So do we just literally tell people like
You
hey
literally
guys,
put in your Instagram bio, we are not just a podcast.
more than just a podcast.
So this is actually something that Ben VW, one of your recurring guests, taught me. I was starting my own company when I first started out, and I was like trying to like be, some floofy Uber, Google, Apple type name, right? None of those things tell what the company does. So every single brand, I'm going through it with one of my main ones right now, like my favorite client, they have this amazing platform, this amazing concept, and they have never told people what they do. They have this like aloof name. They describe themselves aloof. Like you need to tell people what you do. Like your name can't be Google, Uber, Apple, all that stuff, unless you want to put $1 billion of marketing dollars behind your name like TikTok had to become this platform. Like literally don't overthink this like floofy branding. Like say what you are and tell people how you're adding value to their lives.
Yeah. It's that simple.
It's like really,
so
it's actually like
simple.
really simple.
It's so simple.
And everybody thinks there's like all this strategy behind it. Like your little elevator speech, like it hits on your target audience. It hits on what you do, who you talk to, and who you want to be listening. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So all of those channels are perfectly touched on. You don't need anything else.
Right. Yeah. I guess like part of it is just I just want to, I don't know, I want to take this thing to the moon, obviously. But
You just have to train people how to interact with your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, like we are trained by Instagram that double tapping a photo means you like it.
Yeah.
That's how we interact with photos now. So all other platforms had to make so that
Adapt.
your double tap meant a like.
Good point.
Like imagine in 1999, you're scrolling through your phone, you don't tap the screen twice. Like that's weird.
Yeah, there was no touchscreen.
But we're trained to do that, So you have to train people. Like, why are they going to watch you? How are they going to interact with your stuff?
Well, and that's another thing too. Is I realize like our podcast audience is just a different audience than someone who sees us on Instagram all the time.
Totally.
And there's definitely the people who listen to our podcast more likely than not follow us on all the social platforms.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a specific type of person that will listen to us this far into the podcast.
Gabby's dad.
My dad.
Joe Thomas.
He loves you guys.
He's your
The
biggest
Christmas
fan.
card,
Yep.
he geeked.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the first time we met your dad
At the jewelry party.
Yes.
And he was like, I love the mustache. And you're like, who are you? right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like, I've listened to every podcast.
Yeah.
No, he was awesome, but I was like super nervous. I was like, oh my God, that's Gabby's dad. Like, square up, like tighten up, Dak, you freaking loser. you moron.
Brush your mustache.
And I go, oh, like, what's your name? He's like, oh, I'm Joe. And I put it together. I'm like, oh, Joe Thomas. And I was like, oh yeah, Joe Thomas, like, the Browns center.
Like, offensive lineman.
The offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns. And he just looked at me like,
you idiot.
What? I was so confused. I was like,
nope.
I blew it right then and there. It was over. But yeah, dude, when he comments on our Instagrams and stuff, I'm like, Joe.
Oh, he interacts?
Oh,
he loves them.
Yeah.
Like, loves them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going to the event
That's a super
that
fan.
you co-hosted, that was the best part about it. Meeting your dad.
100%.
We
He
talked
is
to him
so
for
funny.
at least 45 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone else besides you, and then I
Yeah.
got to meet your dad. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to hang out with your dad the whole night.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Your dad kicks ass.
Yeah.
Wait, so going off that, actually, because I just remembered when you were on last year, you were still taking classes at CSU. Are you still doing that?
I'm still doing that.
Okay.
I want to scale back.
Yeah.
So it
'Cause
just feels like it's getting in the way of a lot of work,
Sure.
do you think, at this point, are you like, what am I even going to use my degree for?
Yep, exactly. It's more of a parent thing.
So they want you to
talking it
finish.
out.
Okay, cool.
We're working on it.
Yep.
Right, because so your parents, are going through this with you, right? Like understanding, the value of the things you're doing in the real world are kind of superseding the value that a college degree could get you.
Exactly. And I think for any parent, having a child doing something that's unconventional is really scary.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no path and there's no like, go to high school, get a good GPA, go to college, get your degree, go get your internship and work this job.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a kid that's like me, being a psycho and saying, I'm not going to do any of these things the way society wants me to, like, as a parent, you're like, how do I help?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, we're going through a lot of like back and forth. Like, they want to help me get my degree and get on the right path, but they also want me to follow my dreams. So it's kind of been this balancing act.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that they have that support.
Right.
Because,
Right.
like, speaking from, like, our three perspective, Dex got a little bit more of a stability from, like, the corporate sense, but we're also doing Backpocket. We all started doing the side hustle, turning it into full-time, like, no structure from someone else telling you this is exactly what you need to do. This is how you get your promotion, get your raise, get your 401k up, invest in these stocks. We are going about it in a way that, like, we want the most fulfillment for ourselves. We're going to make some money along this way, but we're going to have a ton of fun doing it.
Right.
And I just, like, love talking with you guys because it's, like-minded. You guys are hustling. You're trying to figure out what your brand is. You're trying to figure out how is it going to, provide some stability, but also how am I just going to continue to enjoy what I'm doing? And how am I going to influence people around me while I enjoy what I'm doing?
Totally. That's something I really struggled with in the last year, I would say. Like, I quit my job on my 26th birthday, the day I needed health insurance, and I would never change it for the world. And I am so lucky to have worked with the clients I have, but the amount of people who are critical about it is really, really hard. The amount of people who are like, oh, you don't have a corporate job, you're so stupid. You must be an idiot. You must have no idea what you're talking about. Who pays for your health insurance? That have just completely looked down on it has been really wearing on me in the last year.
But I find it really admirable that you were able to build up your own name and your own brand and sell that to companies and do so without having corporate backing.
Thank you.
That's really
It's
impressive.
still people just absolutely they just bash you. It's just
but what about the people that praise you?
No, I would never change it for the world. I'm just saying it is, and you're going to go through this as you transition out of traditional school and you have gone through it.
Yeah.
People look at you and they're like, oh, haha, Gabby's trying to be a model. Well, guess what? Now Gabby's literally the biggest model in Minneapolis. So
I know it's been there.
Literally the biggest.
Literally the biggest. So it's okay, you can make fun of her if you want, but when you're into her DMs being hey, how do I model? It's
right. Yeah. Piggybacking off that in high school, I didn't tell people I modeled right away. And then I started telling people because I was why are you not in class? Well, I'm on set. This is why I'm literally
why don't you
not
go to
showing
school?
Up to school. Yeah. So then down the road, I had friends like who made different group messages like talking about what the hell is she doing, to now in my DMs, hey, I want to sign with an agency.
Like, what do I do?
Right. Like, and you want to be a good person and help them out, give them some advice, but at the same time, it's like, where were you when I was starting this and like going through the thick of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've like been I try to help my friends like with their careers and stuff, and I've had people be like, why would you ever take career advice from her? Like, she doesn't even work at a company like Target or like Best Buy. And it's like, I think it's way harder to walk into a room as a single person and be like, yo, dog, pay me $5,000 a month. Bye. Yeah. Like,
right. No, for real. It takes some serious balls and like just a ton of grit to do something like that. But I mean, my scale or my currency that I look at when I look at someone doing anything is like, how happy are they? How fulfilled are they?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like for both of you, the reason I wanted to get you both on, because you guys are so like, you guys I know you haven't done a ton yet, but you guys have a good collaborative thing that you can actually build from.
We have our little we have our little horoscopes on an app, so we can see
they're always the same.
Yeah, they're always like literally like
we're
the most compatible. Yeah.
Well,
it's like super app. Yeah.
Oh, and you guys didn't let me finish because I was about to talk about your horoscopes, dude, and that's why you guys are gonna just grand slam. I was just literally just about to say that.
I'm actually not even a horoscope person.
I'm not either. Yeah, but I have the app, and it tells me I'm very similar to Clara.
I was just about to make fun of you for the horoscope thing.
Please do. I invite it.
Okay.
We just learned about it like 2 podcasts ago.
I'll add you to my app.
Alex Hunter.
I literally didn't know.
You guys,
can you turn the camera back on, Marcus? Thanks.
Yeah.
We're
synergy. As
Synergy.
corporate America would say, synergy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we live in Minnesota, which is the Fortune 500 like mecca. You got the Best Buys, the 3Ms, General Mills, you name it, Target, they're here. And so everyone's like mental state is built around go into one of those corporate environments, build up your life savings and work inside there. So when we walk into the room and we're telling them we're working for other clients, we're creating our own business, I'm running Facebook ads, people are like, oh, like, how are you stable? Like, how is that? How does that even work?
Yeah.
They look at you like you're a foreigner, like not abiding by the rules of what Minnesota has operated by for so long.
Conditioned.
Yeah. And to your point, like I got negative, or I continue to get negative from time to time. I'm like, oh, I can't be doing the right thing because I'm not doing what my friends are doing. They seem super stable and put together, or I'm sitting at home every single day working on my thing and not interacting with anyone, but still like growing, but no one can see it. And
it's very isolating.
Very isolating.
Like you have to almost be addicted. I think I said this the first time I was on the podcast too, but like you almost have to be addicted to what you're doing, because if you're not addicted to it, like you're not going to stick with it. Like between how many hours everything takes and how mundane and isolating it is, and like the weird stuff that you don't know that you're trying to learn that you could normally get discouraged by, and like people looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? Like, if you're not addicted to it, you're not going to persevere and you're not going to get to where you need to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And it even comes back to, like, the stability aspect. Like, it all comes from a financial thing. And don't get me wrong, like, having the financial part is, like, mostly part of that freedom and the opportunity. Like, if I don't have my side, or if I don't have my, like, main corporate job right now, Backpocket isn't operating near the same as it would, you know? Like, I can operate everything just wholeheartedly from the heart and the mind and take finances totally out of it with Backpocket and just promote a genuine brand that I truly care about and makes me happy.
Which is very lucky, because a lot of people can't do that, you know?
Right.
A lot of people like can't fulfill their dreams with the supplemental income from, you know, their corporate job.
Exactly. But like, I would never look down on someone because they're trying to take a stab at being a model or being an actress. Like, regardless of whether or not you fail or something bad happens, like you're taking a risk to put yourself outside of the comfort zone. Something that no one else, or not many, are
able to do. Yeah,
totally.
And I just I praise that a lot. And I like, what is something that you've like taken away this past year of like really putting the pedal to the metal, you know, like you're really trying to put yourself out there now. I mean, like
and it's giving you some confidence.
You're gaining confidence. Like I'm seeing a ton of just growth from you. Like what's something that you've learned? No, I'm serious.
I'm gonna cry.
Okay, so biggest thing for me this sounds so cheesy, but it's being me. Like for so long I was like, who's my role model? Who do I look up to? And I have a few people I look up to, but at the end of the day, I'm not like them, and I don't want any of their goals that they have. You know, like I can look at a few people as reference points. Like I like this thing that this person's doing and that thing that this person's doing. But at the end of the day, like I'm not one person I want.
You're not mimicking.
I'm not mimicking
Yeah.
anyone.
Right.
Like I am me, and if something makes me happy, like shit, I'm gonna go do it, and like I'll do it with my whole heart. Like there's no rules to this, and that's like what I have to remember. And like the same thing with putting myself out there. Like I hold back a lot because I want things to be perfect, but like I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Like I want people to see growth in how I do things. Like let me put out a really shitty video, and then 6 months from now it'll be beautiful. You know, and like build up and show that journey. And I think that's what I want people to see. Like I want them along for the ride and to see what ups and downs I hit, and you do a better job of sharing the downs.
That's awesome. And I totally resonate with that. I had like 5 people up on my whiteboard. Like I want to be just like them. Joe Rogan, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah, Muhammad Ali, like some awesome, powerful people. And then the more and more I started like operating with my own life, I was like, oh wait, I just need to be more of me. I don't need to be these 5 people that I wrote on my wall. I need to take away some cool notes from them. But if I try to be that person, then I'm not even being myself anymore.
Right.
So I totally resonate with what you're saying, what you're saying, and I'm on that same playing field with trying to learn more about how to just let myself illuminate.
Yeah, because I think the one common denominator is that we all have that ambition. Like we're all at least trying to answer the question of who I am or who you are, right? And sometimes we just get super caught up in maybe one person, like for me, Chris D'Elia or Joe Rogan or, you know, whoever it may be. But just understanding that each one of those people or each one of those stories is a data point that you can, you know, put in your back pocket and use in your own life, which is exactly what we're trying to do here. Like it doesn't need to be Joe Rogan coming on this podcast to tell you need to get your life together and go do said thing. Yeah. It's like, no, anybody can through any of their stories can tell you from their own story how to do something. Like we had Sophie Fansersom on the podcast like a couple weeks ago, which I would highly recommend you guys listen to. And she texted me a couple days ago because she's a trainer and she's on this app that she has a bunch of clients through. And one of them, and she's talking to them all the time, and one of them messaged her and was like, dude, like I love all your training and everything, but like the thing that got me up this morning to get to my workout was the podcast you did on the Backpocket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it was
that's
just
really
like
cute.
It was amazing.
And like that's why you do what you do.
Yeah.
You want to get people up and like
totally
act on what their visions are.
Right. And the fact that like it was just me, it was us that provided the opportunity for Sophie to come on and talk about her story for the first time, even grabbed that one person to then accelerate their own life. Like the Backpocket doesn't win if Andrew and I like if we win, right? We're already winning. We get to have conversations with everybody, our friends, family, whoever. Like these are things that we do all the time. We're excited. We are continuing to do this and we'll never stop. The things where we really, really feel like we win is when you guys win, or is when a listener wins, or is when someone else can grab something and show us that, you know, there's actual value coming out of these things.
Totally.
You know, we get to sit and goof around and, you know, talk about whatever over champagne and busy
theoretical situation.
Light your candle. That is your sponsor.
Light your candle. You know, Soda Sense. It smells like, you know, North Shore.
Theoretical product that you keep pitching us.
Yeah.
Can't be named.
Oh yeah.
We get iced on here. I mean, like all of this is, you know, there's some will call it fluff. Some may just unsubscribe right away. Like who knows? But like I'm always just trying to find ways to like creatively influence and provide value to others, because those are the real wins, right? When someone comes to Gabby Thomas and she's like, hey, Gabrielle, how the frick do I get in? How the heck do I get into these, you know, I don't know what people are asking you specifically, but like when you can start to shift your mind to starting to provide value to others, like the same reason Clara hit you up for this shoot, you know, those are when things really start to kick up. I don't know. I get super stoked about this kind of stuff, which is why I want to shoot with you guys one of these days.
Yes.
I have this like vision and idea. It's kind of dumb, but I shouldn't preface it as kind of dumb, but I want to show how hard it is to model.
Yeah.
So I want to like go to a spot. obviously have some Backpocket merch and have whatever merch you guys are theoretically coming up with.
We need to get
More
merch
ISIS.
now.
We do. I know. Now
We'll
we
get
have to. We
stickers.
actually weren't planning on it, but now we have to.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys can have the only
Yeah.
merch.
But I want to go and do like a legitimate shoot. Like I want you guys to organize it how you guys would do a shoot because, quite frankly,
can
I have
storyboard it.
no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have no idea how
I
this
make
stuff
mood boards
works.
for
Yeah,
every
we'll
shoot.
mood board it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that should
So
be
you'll get
fun.
like a
Yeah.
6-slide presentation on like
Yeah.
what the mood is, the inspiration, like
What outfits you're
What
wearing,
outfits
where
you're
they're
wearing.
from, who you're tagging, the hashtags.
Can we like make this
the
all like
editing
a
style.
film
Yeah.
too? I
Yeah.
feel like if we had the
Yeah.
film of you guys showing the mood board, because like start to finish, I want to know what it's like to go and do a shoot, and we're obviously gonna be not very good. You know, we're gonna be average.
That's okay.
right?
I
It's
was
okay.
very bad when I started.
Well,
I
of
will have to
course.
send you my first headshots.
Yes.
They're very bad.
I won't be 50% of your first headshot.
if that.
Yeah.
But I do want to do like a shoot where we're replicating or doing some of the same shots that you guys are doing, and I'd love to just see how much worse I look in comparison, or average, I should say.
It'll be-
But I don't know. That's an idea.
it's a funny idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
I think
legs.
people don't even like understand, the mood board. Like that's a good 4 hours of preparation for your
A lot
client.
of
Really?
influencers don't do it.
No, a lot
Oh.
don't.
That's
but
where I provide value.
mm-hmm. It's like you're almost, you're taking their branding and saying, okay, this is how I'm going to tailor it to my style, but like still deliver for you as the client,
middle
right?
ground.
Like find, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even like pulling colors from their branding or looking at how the clothes were displayed last time and displaying them differently. Like there's actually strategy behind it, which sounds really weird because you just get this tangible picture that people
Yeah.
like are like, oh, cool. How hard is that? Like it's actually pretty freaking hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I bet. No, that's nuts. I think
mhm.
so. What's interesting about like
Is there a dog? Do you guys have a dog? There's a dog barking.
you can hear a dog. I didn't.
I can
I
hear a
don't
dog.
hear a dog.
Oh.
I
I
hear
can
a
hear
siren.
sirens.
Yeah.
I for sure heard a dog. I got really excited.
We had a dog.
We had a dog at one point.
Oh,
She's
R.I.P.
gone.
She's gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sad.
We went with the ex-girlfriend.
No, the ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
Well,
so
at least
she's
it's
still
not dead.
alive. The dog's
Oh,
still
yes.
alive.
Yeah, yeah, they're still
Oh,
alive.
okay, good.
We actually saw the dog when we were out for a walk.
Oh, was that awkward?
Muffin.
Yeah, we were with our friend whose ex-girlfriend it was, and they just didn't say anything. They just walked by.
Did
us,
he
just-
pet the dog?
No.
Oh.
No, and real quick,
And it was his dog. He was the one
Honey.
that bought the dog.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
Oh,
would have
man.
grabbed the dog and run.
I would. Yeah, that's hard.
Said, my turn.
Co-parenting.
yeah. Yeah.
I haven't
Oh
seen
my
you in
God.
7 months.
Yeah.
oh god,
Oh, it's only been 7 months. It's kind of fresh though to be
It still
splitting a
is
dog.
fresh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, is he okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
hosted
doing just fine.
he hosted a yoga event in our backyard with 12 people.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
The dog didn't
The dog
come.
wasn't there.
If the dog
so if that's
hosted-
any implication of how he's doing,
Yeah, he's
Oh
thriving.
my god! Sorry,
Speaking
that's
of
not
yoga,
funny.
there's this song called Yoga that I put on my Instagram story a few days ago, and it's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and it's getting all this traction. It's this rapper that put his voice up to the highest octave,
What?
so it's like is
play
what the
it.
song sounds like.
Can you play it?
Find it.
Mhm.
It's like something.
Claire, can you pull that up? Claire's just
Yeah.
gonna be
1
a
minute.
producer.
1
Yeah,
minute.
1 second, Claire.
Plug that in the mic.
Who's the rapper?
Something and then like 6'4" or something.
648.
It is so.
I think this
funny.
is a gun reference. 645 AR.
Probably.
No comment. I have no
You
idea.
found it right. Yoga.
Oh,
Front of the mic.
Hey.
Just wait till you hear his voice, and you'll.
Is anybody- is
kind
it-
of slaps?
is anybody gonna freestyle
Like
during
you're
this?
kind of into it.
Deck mic.
Ducky. Just get a feel for the beat and feel free to drop
Jack
in.
showed me this, and I was
That's
like,
squeaky
"What?
eye.
That? Yeah, it's weird. It's like a mouse."
Oh no.
I honestly
Yeah.
don't hate it.
I know. That's a
Don't
really
hate
good
it?
beat.
Andrew on the beat. I really like it.
Yeah.
Ducky, I think you need to do a full episode of you just
Just in mouse.
freestyling.
No, in the.
Or in the mouse
Turn
voice.
up
But
the
if you
audio
wanted
all the
to,
way.
if you want to hear what I sound like, just kick me betwixt the legs and have to start rapping. That's what that sounds like.
Good thing this is like an hour into the podcast.
Yeah.
What? That's what it sounded like. You guys wanted my hot takes? That's exactly what it was. God damn it! What the frick was that? That was
weird.
insane.
Is my phone still alive?
Yeah.
Power.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm notorious for having my
killing
phone
it.
always be dead.
Same.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, you're killing it. You're out. You're
I always
you're
forget to
absolutely
charge it
firing on us.
overnight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, wait. So I
now
had
you're
a
live.
I have a question. So
I also have a question.
Instagram is a very, photo based, Y models absolutely grand slam on there. What is kind of your strategy for showing kind of what's behind the photo, or like behind the photo, behind just the face? IGTV.
Yep. Because my biggest asset is my personality. That sets me
Yeah.
apart. And I don't show that. I don't.
Right.
So that is what's in the works to be corrected right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and that's, I think, one thing, like your podcast was the most downloaded from last year.
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
combine YouTube and
Atta girl.
audio.
Jeez.
So congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
still
Mhm.
like, when we post new podcasts, like, and it says like most watched ones that are currently still being watched, yours is like one of the first
Whoa.
typically. Yeah.
Whoa.
Mhm.
That's
Kinda
really
nuts.
cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really cool, but I also think about the aspect of like, we're probably one of the few that have been able to kind of get the story where you just
Oh,
talk
yeah.
for an hour behind.
No one else has that.
Right.
Yeah.
But even for your sake, like that's just like I enjoy, because it's just like fun from a branding standpoint. It's like, 250,000 people follow this person, yet no one has listened to her talk for an hour,
Right.
So I don't know. We just get to like, I just get geeked out about being able to like share your story,
Well,
share your
you
thoughts,
gave me a voice.
humanize you.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your question?
Mine. Was there a question that you had?
No,
Or
that
you were
was
just making
it.
a statement. more so?
Yeah, no. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
my question was just like, how are you kind of constantly keeping up with that?
The
Because
IGTV
you do have
aspect. Yeah.
you have a good voice, you do have a personality. Like, what are you doing to share that with the world?
I don't know. I talk on my story.
I was gonna say your stories that you talk on get the most engagement.
always.
Gotcha.
Oh, really?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Also, a story tip I learned is that you're gonna get a lot more views if your stories for the day start out with a shot of your face instead of a picture of where you are or a cup or something else, because people are clicking through. They're like, "Oh, this person. Hi, what's up?"
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it.
helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay,
I don't know.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
My question was gonna be I want to film a TikTok of us four.
Doing what?
Can we have
Well,
more
Yeah, Andrew's got
champagne?
the concept. Hold
Yeah.
on.
No, I don't have the concept.
Oh.
That was my
Wait,
question.
save that audio bite of the
Oh.
It's good. You can just play it over and over and over. You're all like in sync saying it.
Oh.
In unison. Yeah, wait, I thought dude, if you're gonna bring gas with that gas of a question, be like, and that's where we come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, every great pitch has, and that's where we come
Yeah,
in.
Clara, do you do that a lot when you're pitching to clients and you're like, and that's where
I
I come in?
I usually lead with that. I'm like, yo,
Are you serious?
no. God. I should get a less dry sense of humor. I feel like it maybe.
No, I appreciate it. That's why I like you.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You can't
We
just
need
buy another sense of humor.
Yeah.
Can I try? I don't know.
No.
I have a really dry sense of humor, but no, I think we should do a TikTok for sure.
Okay, cool.
But
I
you have
gotta
to think of it.
All right, I'll think
Yeah.
of one.
Yeah, we
I
have
didn't
Start
know
with-
if you had one on it.
Start
like,
with
if
the
I wanted to set
audio.
that.
I like
the music.
I think a
Yeah.
good audio clip really sets the stage. Like, even if the TikTok's really stupid, but I like the audio clip, I'll still watch it like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sweet.
Okay, we have to do
Because you
something.
group
yeah.
it with other videos that you like from the
Yeah.
audio clips. You think you'll like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I always
There
click
it
on the
is.
sound and watch the same sound.
Mhm.
Over and over and over again.
The Carol
Yeah.
Baskin.
Kill their
Something-
husband, slashed him. Don't convince
on
me
that.
that it didn't happen.
I
Carol
sit on that one and scroll for hours.
Carol Baskin. You guys, when I have nothing to say to
Killed
people, like
Husband, whacked him.
like in texts now, if I'm like trying to start a conversation, I'll literally text him to say Carol Baskin, and then
That's
I'll
our
like
name of our group chat.
lead into like something else. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
will
say
say-
hi.
Yeah, that's a group message.
That is
Oh,
the
yeah.
What is it? Carol Baskin is in your back pocket. Wow, who thought of that
Can we
one?
make that graphic?
Yeah.
I want her being
Yes,
like,
you guys, let's do a behind the scenes of Decky and Andrew filming the Carol Baskin wedding photo with her walking.
oh my
the-
God, stop. We have
No,
to
that's
on the
really
leash.
good. Who's going to be on the leash?
That can be the photo shoot. That's the mood board.
He's the feline.
Yes.
It's done.
It's done.
One photo for the mood board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
Decky
yeah.
feline.
Makes our work easy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Decky
man.
feline.
Decky feline. They call me Decky Exotic for quite some time.
I can see
Wow.
why.
Decky Exotic, yeah. I don't know what I am now though. I don't have. I'm in trance right now. Decky Necky, I guess. That was the first.
Yeah,
that
you
was the
need to
first nickname
rebrand
that was
again.
like. That was the first nickname that was like given to me. Usually, I just give myself the nickname.
You need to cut your body off of that photo with the thick neck and extend the neck so it looks like a worm.
The Alaskan bullworm
Coming-
from SpongeBob.
Coming out of an
Great
apple.
episode.
Coming out of an apple that is in the
Doesn't
back
he put
pocket.
that on a leash too? His
Yeah.
bull? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good idea. Have you seen
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Twitter trend where they like put someone's like like torso and then put like the female legs with it? Oh, it's so good. And then the caption without fail every time is, "Did I get it? Is it working?
Did this work?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
pretty good.
that's 100% me.
Andrew, when are you filming this TikTok?
Of us?
Yeah.
Well, I think when we do our shoot, I think that'll be
Okay.
like all intertwined.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just storyboard the TikTok and we'll storyboard the shoot.
Okay. I can do that. I'll come up
Yeah.
with a couple options because
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna get the first one right.
Look, we can barely
don't
smile.
know.
Like I don't know. We don't get very.
I'm a
many
solo
great-
TikToker. I haven't asked
Oh.
Deck to be in any of them because I'm nervous.
Well, we actually split up our TikToks. So
This seems
Yeah.
like a point of contention.
no. Wednesday to Friday is Andrew, and I'm Saturday
Seriously?
to Tuesday.
Wait, I'm very proud.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
I love
that's
the
how we.
organization.
Yeah, that's how we conquer a TikTok a day.
TikTok a
Wow.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the content funnel is just out of control.
Claire, what kind of comments are we getting?
Well, people really want you to answer their questions.
Well, I can't
Oh,
see
yeah,
the
here's a-
questions because
dude,
it's over there.
It's over here.
No, you
yeah.
know what's crazy is like every one of these questions we should have been asking already.
no, they're decent.
Wait, actually?
Well,
Oh my gosh.
Ask a
Here, we'll
couple
start
good-
with this
I have to
one.
go
Maybe
back.
I
Soccer or
should screenshot
ice
them and it's a
hockey?
different podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man, Andrew, I had to go to the bathroom,
I-
dude.
Should I?
When I do YouTube and I do a Q&A video, I want you guys to ask me the Q&A questions.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think it'd be cute.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can you see all the questions? Because I closed out.
Yeah, no, the only one that I'm seeing right now that's popping off is soccer or ice hockey. I've never heard that question asked before,
Oh.
but
Hockey.
hockey, 100%.
I love how aggressive it is. I've never been a soccer person. I love seeing people fight each other.
You're like, I gotta get after it.
Yeah.
That hardcore rap, I'm telling you.
Oh, it does it. That's it.
We're at the
Full
3-6
circle.
Mafia concert. There's this like mosh pit, and Gabby's like over the railing. She's like, yeah, like trying to go.
Jokingly.
She's like, no, you secretly wanted
No,
to
I
be
love-
in the
okay, but
mosh
I
pit.
wouldn't because I'd literally break in half.
Well, yeah, but you were there
Yeah.
in spirit. Gabby was on that dance floor.
I love when people like jump and run into each other.
Her grin is like so big, and I'm like, yo,
Like,
dude, is there a
Watching
puppy?
football games, all I want to do is fight each other. It's the only reason I watch football.
But they never do.
They don't fight in
Sometimes they do.
football.
Sometimes they talk shit, you know.
You know,
I think
sometimes they like hold the tackle a little longer
They
than
can
they
get-
should. I'm like, yes.
Can't they get fined in football?
I don't know.
You gotta watch hockey.
I don't know. I know I love hockey for the
Yeah.
fighting,
Yeah,
but I don't like wrestling because it's too aggressive.
it's weird.
You don't like MMA?
It's weird. No,
MMA
Weren't
is
you a
nuts.
wrestler
it's a little too much.
in high school?
Me? You think I was a wrestler? Are you out of your mind?
With the neck.
Andrew comes into the question.
That
you
that
a
neck really
wrestler?
leads itself to a lot of things. I don't know.
No, I was just a man back then.
Oh,
Dude.
Wait, where's
okay.
the bathroom? I have to go potty.
Yeah, it's down.
This is where I bring in
Here, I'll show
Gabby's
you.
twin. And
Sorry, I also have to go to the bathroom.
oh,
It's just you and I now, Clara.
okay.
Dangerous.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Can you guys grab cocktails on your way back?
4 podcasts to 2. I brought
two.
up all of the other stuff.
I see that.
Marcus, you want to jump in and ask a couple questions?
Marcus, come on.
Yeah, jump in.
I'll ask you a question.
Throw the camera on yourself.
Andrew's out of content.
Yeah. Okay. I need Decky at all times, or else I'm clueless.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, thanks.
Just be confident. Own it.
Yeah.
Do I get to ask the questions?
Yeah, you can.
Yes. Okay. Marcus,
Shalom.
tell us about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Portland, Maine.
Holy cow. Why are you in Minnesota?
Mhm.
Well, I moved out here when I was in middle school. My dad got a job at Target, and
Okay.
so we moved out for that, and then I've been here ever since. I left for college, but then came back.
You have a really great podcast voice.
Doesn't he?
He has a really good podcast voice.
Yes.
It's like super deep in my headphones right now.
Right, and
Thank
it's
you
just
guys.
soft. And he articulates his words.
Just tell us a story. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you moved here. What do you do now besides film these fools?
Yeah, so right now I have a few different jobs. So I work as a host and a bar back at a restaurant in the Mall of America.
Okay.
That's on hold right now with the Rona.
Yep.
So,
The Rona, of course.
The monster Rona.
So now I'm just doing the producing gig. And so I'm here. I'm producing a few other podcasts as well.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I've kind of started my own brand.
Ooh, what's your own brand?
Project 79.
Kaylin, let's hear about that.
This is the first I'm hearing of this as well.
Okay. Yeah. So Project 79 basically is just kind of my way to create any kind of a project that I want.
Okay.
Whether that's a photography gig, whether that's a podcast, whether that's video, doesn't matter because it's all like whatever it is, it's a project.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gives me the outlet to just kind of produce any kind of content that I like.
I love that. Where does your content go?
So
Just
right
to
now,
whatever
I haven't
channel?
really launched anything in general.
Okay.
So far, I've had one different photo collection, I guess. It was kind of like a gallery for a week.
Okay.
And then that led to an announcement for my own personal podcast, which is a gaming podcast, Checkpoint Podcast. Check it out, coming out soon.
Wow, shameless podcast plug on the podcast.
There it is.
I really like that. From your producer.
Well, from our producer, that might also be streaming from our newly created Twitch page.
That is true.
Backpocket streamings.
The Backpocket After Dark.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a lot going on, Gabby, that we didn't know about.
That is the first I'm hearing of
Can
that
I co-host Backpocket After Dark?
Of course.
Yeah.
Clara, we've been
It's about video games.
Clara, we've been
Clara.
asking you to be a part of Backpocket.
You actually have been asking me to co-host the weird side shit.
It's not side shit. You look at it like side.
Jackie's like, we're going to do this weird thing on the sidewalk. Do you want to come co-host? I'm like,
the sidewalk? Don't give him that.
well, I don't know. But I'm in. Whatever it is, I'll come.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't showed up to any events you guys have hosted ever.
Claire was the face of our event, Pochella, and didn't show up. We were kind of sad.
Yeah. Whoops. I literally, we've gone over this. I didn't do anything that day. I just was feeling very introverted. So
I tried to come, but I wasn't 21 yet.
Right. You had a very valid
I know.
reason.
I was
tried.
not 28 yet, so I couldn't come. Damn it. Marcus. Hey, Marcus, thanks for your insight, though.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Project 79.
If you need any hosts for the podcast, we know too.
All right. Speaking of side gigs, all right,
Uh-oh.
I got another one for you guys. So, we're starting. There you go. You're back
It's
on
getting warm in
Gabby.
here.
I'm really warm.
I have my
Yeah.
cupping marks though.
Oh, yeah. Show the camera.
Yeah, show the cups. Oh,
This one is so bad. Like, it's seriously.
It's like black.
But it felt good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what does that actually feel like?
It was
A tickle.
way better than a massage.
Feels like a tickle.
To be honest. Like,
Really?
so a massage stretches your muscles like out as you push them, but the cupping like stretches them this way.
Up.
Like,
Vertically.
it
away
literally
from your
feels
body.
so good. So they
This
put
one.
these cups on you, but they light a flame in them so the oxygen burns out. They put them on you, and it's the negative pressure inside, so it sucks your skin
Right,
and
right.
muscles into it. And
You
then
guys
they
could do that
slide.
in the cold lake. Well, you can't light the fire, but you could do it during
Yeah.
your weird routine.
Are
Yeah,
you,
they
you
put-
guys should jump in with us one of these days.
I
No.
committed to that one time.
I'm not
I
a
also
lake
bailed.
person.
Going forward.
Gabby does
Pools.
cryo with me.
Yeah.
You could do
That's
it
right.
if you do cryo.
Are we gonna be? Can we be like the influencers that go into the cryo thing? Because
I
I
already
feel like I
have-
could grand slam that.
I already
know?
have a
could.
couple. Yeah, you guys can come. Once COVID's done, you can come.
Oh, I got a question. Okay, what does a guy influencer look like? Are there like
There is
guy
such a
modeling?
market for it.
yeah,
Really?
and
Such a
nobody does
dive
it.
into this.
Decky,
Hit up
we
some
could make you.
companies.
We could make Decky
No
an
one wants to
influencer.
see the hot boy, like
Yeah.
Jay Alvarez type. Like, do you know what I mean? Besides, like a teenage girl.
I mean, I don't hate seeing Jay Alvarez,
but I was
but
like,
there's
I don't want to
definitely.
follow that.
This is the thing about boy influencers. Like, I have a really good friend in New Zealand, and he's like absolutely killing
Yeah.
it on the influencer game. But his whole thing is like extreme sports, right? Like he's jumping out of hot air balloons with Nerf guns and like no parachute, and they're like throwing him the parachute later. Like he's doing, Harley Davidson like rugged shit on the coast. Like there's like, I feel like for a boy it's harder because you have to have a very extreme element. Otherwise it's like,
You don't.
Why would I?
You could be so average though that everyone loves you and wants to be
Yeah.
just like you because
Yeah.
you are so relatable.
that's what I'm like. I mean,
no
that you
one's
can,
done it yet.
yeah, you can read.
Dude, that's me, dude. Follow
Decky.
me on LinkedIn. Let's go.
You have to post. You have to post weekly outfit photos in the chair.
Yeah,
Okay.
Be wonderful.
Sure.
This
Okay.
is what I'm wearing.
OOTD.
OOTD.
DOOTD. Decky's outfit of the day.
See,
Oh,
with your
yes.
with the Decky hashtag, I mean that's your brand. So with the Decky hashtag,
Right,
you
right.
can really like, you can go anywhere. I think. You
I know.
And you can get like code Decky for
Right. So I should start going
10%
after
off.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll help you.
Yeah. So, but like, is a guy influencer just a guy who makes like funny videos and stuff? Or is there like is there like a brand of just like hot dudes that also make?
I don't think
stuff?
there's as many hot dudes. I really don't.
Well, the hot dudes are going to be followed by women.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
You want to be followed by guys who relate to you
Yeah.
right.
And
Okay.
girls who think you're funny.
and girls who think you're funny.
Which
Yeah.
there's a way
Okay.
bigger market for
Yeah.
girls who like guys that are funny as opposed to like just a hot guy. Like
There's
just
a bigger market.
for sure.
Yeah.
For
100%.
sure.
Okay.
Like
Like
that
a
Chris
guy-
D'Elia video. Did you guys see that one I put out?
Yeah.
3,000
think
views,
so.
dude.
Yeah.
Come at me. I'm
Yeah.
influenced.
Come
Yeah.
at me.
Your boy's influenced.
Chaboy. Hashtag Chaboy
Mhm.
Decky.
But
No, I think,
No.
I mean, I think it's harder to be a boy influencer. I'm not going
oh
to lie.
yeah, because
like,
I don't
you
have a
can't
back door that I
piggyback.
can flash every 5 minutes. You know, I can't show my ass on a. I
But
cannot
in
show my
fairness,
ass.
Gabby has never
I
shown
don't
her
do
ass on her
that.
Instagram.
Yeah,
I pride
you
myself in
haven't,
that.
But she showed her rump on our Bocella ads, and it fucking grand slammed. So here's
I
mine.
was sitting down.
Clara, what's
It was
the shot
my
gonna be this year?
spine, okay? The picture was of my spine. I
Right.
had a one-piece swimsuit on
No, it
for
was
all
very-
the critics.
Yeah, it was very Mormon. It was good.
It was very
fucking
Mormon. It was
right
like,
there.
no, it was literally out of Utah. It was like a magazine spread out of Utah.
It was in the Salt Lake.
We crushed. In
Literally,
Salt
I
Lake
was
City.
in Salt Lake City for that photo.
What's the photo gonna be this year?
We have some content.
We do. Okay.
You in your house.
Bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored.
Bored in the house.
No,
Did you
it's
guys
not gonna
see
be me in
O.J.
my
Simpson do
house. It's gonna be, well, I thought it was gonna be Decky Necky. I think we should tie, like, I think we should put inflatables around your neck.
I just want like one
my
single,
gosh.
like really small cross to show the perspective of how big my neck is.
We should do a series, like everyday objects next to Decky's neck, so like they can see
Oh
how.
my
Okay, that's
gosh.
funny.
Yeah, like
Bro, you can put like the Titanic, and
Yeah.
then like my neck's way bigger. Yeah, dude.
The next sank it.
Oh, fuck
next
it. Oh,
I think-
yes, dude.
yes.
Oh, this is good.
Okay, that has to happen.
I thought I had momentum from like 2 mug sales because I sold literally 2 mugs with my neck. This is way better.
Wait, I didn't know you put your neck on a mug.
Yeah.
Oh.
you guys have to do. I
don't
love
think
you
I
guys.
could drink anything from
You need to
that mug.
do a better job of promoting your merch on your social
We
platforms.
just started today.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we just dropped our merch line today.
Okay.
Monday,
Okay.
May 4th. And we had 2 purchases already. Look at us.
Whoa.
The boys are making money off merch.
I'll have to buy
boy.
one for Joe Thomas.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Christmas gift.
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Closer than
yes.
Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, closer.
Yes.
June, I believe.
Way closer.
He drinks his mug.
Mine's empty right now because
Do
we
you
drank
wanna-
all the champagne.
I know.
Do you want any
Yes.
Can you
Other
make
stuff?
me one too?
She just says yes. Yeah, no, I'll make you something.
Wait. Mine is still kind of full.
Yum. Okay,
Marcus.
Andrew, pitch them on. I wanted to talk about their thoughts on the Blind Date podcast.
Ooh.
Okay, so we are starting a podcast.
Wait, not super strong. I'm a lightweight. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
When Gabby heard, this is like a raw behind the scenes. People need to know the real you. When Gabby heard that COVID was actually hitting, when we were in our little tiny kitchen of our Airbnb in Canada, and I was trying really hard to be a mom, like make sure we had enough food, like with nutrients and like more than alcohol
With
in our.
nutrients, she's like,
Yeah,
guys, I got
I'm like,
all
we
the
need
Cheez-Its.
iron. No, we did have. That's actually all we ate was Cheez-Its. But I'm like, we need to get spinach.
Extra toasted?
No, just normal standard. Yeah. Don't fix if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Mm.
But anyway, we got like a lot of Moscato. Gabby has like her 9th canceled modeling thing, and she's like, you know what? I'm having wine. I'm like, yeah, Gabby, you have some wine. And I think she's gonna like take out a glass and whatever. And next thing I know, she's holding this wine bottle by the neck, like right behind me, and she's chugging this bottle of Moscato.
So
I'm like,
COVID.
ma'am, you get drunk after a half a glass. I'm like, can you calm down on the Moscato?
Ma'am?
I was like, ma'am, you're going to overdose on the Moscato.
Ma'am, TSA's getting worried.
Yeah, but anyway. What were you going to say, Andrew?
It's this new
Oh, yeah, the podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
The podcast.
that we're going to call We Met on a Podcast.
Aw.
And we're going to partner with local venues, and we're going to take inquiries from the listeners and whoever's involved and put on a first date experience for people that want to record a podcast on a date. So, we'd take them to certain, different restaurants or whatever, and then we'd set up the podcast studio. We have a host, Sydney K, and then she will be the host of this show, and then we'll be asking questions, topics to these two people that are on the podcast. They can be dating, they can never have met each other, they can do whatever they want. We're just the opportunity for you to go and record a podcast as a date.
Mm-hmm.
I really like
I
that.
like it. There's kind of a thing that already does that without the podcast, though. Have you guys heard of Let's Go?
That's
the app we're partnering with.
Oh, okay. Oh, bye.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, cool. It was so funny. We were sitting with that guy. Let's Go. I forget what his first name. Austin. Yeah, and we were all talking before. It was me, Andrew, and then Jeremy, our podcast advertising sales guy. And I was like, all right, you guys are gonna just know that something's gonna hit the wire, and this is where I want to go. And I was like, by the time we finish talking with this guy, I want to make sure that he knows that we want to record a podcast dating experience through his app.
They do cool date deals and stuff.
Yes.
Like where they partner. That's
at.
literally the concept. Yeah, like you partner with whatever pizza place and you go and.
Yep.
You don't just get a pizza discount; you get a full meal.
I think you guys should do cameos on this. Like, where do you bring people in that like can throw off the vibe? Is this a bad idea?
Can you explain it?
Like, okay, so say you're recording this like podcast date. It's a first date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do some digging on either the guy or the girl, and like have their boss walk in, or like have like
their ex.
No, that's too savage.
Yeah,
but someone's been watching too much Netflix. But I don't know. I feel like there could be like a humor element. I think you have to make it really funny.
Let's talk it through.
I think you have to make it funny.
Okay, so I like the idea.
Almost
Or
self-deprecating.
the waiter like spills something.
Yeah.
Or they find like a really gross hair on their food, and you see if they make a reaction. Or
yes. You plant stuff, or like you make it really. Or it's like you do something really embarrassing, like you like give the guy a shirt that's like gray with sweat marks or something, and see what the girl does.
Yeah. Well,
it's good.
We have
put some stuff in someone's teeth, like
gross them out.
Yeah.
Sydney had the idea of doing like a mini questionnaire beforehand, so you get to know what that person like feels like about certain topics. But you ask them like controversial ones, so not like super controversial, but like enough to be like,
how do you feel about the death penalty?
All right, so we're gonna start this one off.
We're gonna go with Planned Parenthood. Carry on.
On today's topic of pro-choice versus pro-life.
Yeah. Not that, but you know what I mean? Like something along those lines.
I think you have to make them like where it could create
like
some
that.
tension.
Like simple as like,
even
do
if it's
you follow
Packers,
a horoscope?
Vikings, or like stuff
do you
like
follow
that.
a horoscope? Like something simple where people are kind of like,
What's your sign?
Yeah.
I mean, we would already having know that though. But that's the thing is like do some kind of like research on them a little bit to like know the parties involved.
Just hit up their best friend and they'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
this is also like I think you could maybe, so this is my, I shouldn't give it away, but whatever. This is my like really fun idea. I think there should be a dating app that's like it has to be 100% serious. So it's like Hinge, but you have to literally say like, yeah, like my dog died last year and I'm like still in a really bad place. Like you have to like be honest, and you have to be like, yeah, I have a really bad fear of public speaking, and like where it's not sugar coated of like, oh yeah, I just went to Prague and I like fucking love my life. It like has to be real. So I think you throw on those date card like prefaced with questions.
Okay.
You throw on there like, what's your biggest challenge in life right now? And like they have to say something real, because I think that's where you get like actually vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, 100%.
Maybe I'm being soft. I don't know, but I think it's important. Like it's
not
like
being soft. You're being hard. Yeah.
Ooh.
What a change.
Well, that's what she does.
Ooh.
That's what her bio said, dude. She does it hard. It said on there. I don't remember what it said ultimately, but it said.
I
something
really
about
hope your bio doesn't say I do it hard.
I've gotten every client, every single client I've ever gotten saw it, and we were like, you know what, Clara, we like you because of your Instagram bio.
Hey guys, check out my bio. I do it hard.
All right. So speaking of like a very serious profile, like I kind of want you to look at my. Can you grade my Hinge profile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we get to? Oh, my phone died. Do we get to actually give?
You guys,
like,
I just want you to dive
honest-
in, and I want you guys to critique it because I take my Hinge profile super seriously.
I've never seen.
Can
what the app
I
Hinge
chat with a
looks
couple
like.
girls on there?
You can do whatever you want.
Hinge
I don't
app,
give a
you
shit.
have a couple photos and then a couple.
Like, is it just like Tinder?
No, you have.
You have
profile.
topics and stuff.
You have photos and then you have questions.
Come on
and then
over.
So real quick though, I want to preface this because part of the We Met on a Podcast idea is you meet people probably through Hinge or Tinder or whatever.
Tinder.
And
Do people use Tinder?
I don't know, probably, but what it ends up coming down to is
Dougie for sure.
one of the topics on there is first date idea.
Just go through as well.
And it's to start a podcast, and I put that on there intentionally to see how many girls were actually interested in wanting to record a podcast for the first date.
Oh my gosh.
And you guys won't believe like how many times I just get the Rolodex of people that are like, oh my god, liking that response. So I use that's why I'm on Hinge, is so I can see the interest, and I'm telling you it is. But this is what girls see when they come across my page, and I just want your takes on it.
I'm looking at your matches.
Yeah, I was gonna say Claire is supposed to be on his profile, not his DMs.
Well, it seems like
you
you
can look at those
stopped
too. I don't give a shit.
You stopped like 29 conversations according to your Hinge app, but it's fine.
Yeah, I'm leaving them in the. I'm never gonna
Hard
go
to
on a Hinge
get.
date.
Sorry, girls.
I'm never going on a
Okay.
Hinge date.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. I have so much to say. This is very cohesive. The first picture is of Ducky with a exotic cat.
That doesn't look like you though.
What do you mean it doesn't look like me? It's me on stage.
It doesn't look like you.
What doesn't look like?
I know what you're saying.
Like
Okay.
I wouldn't look at that photo and be
because
like,
he looks
oh,
good in
that's
that
Decky.
photo, maybe.
I don't have what? Because I got a mustache now. What is it?
This is a really good angle of you, and you're really tan.
Yeah, that's what, dude. I've never had a bad angle. Never.
It doesn't look like you.
Is this what we're caught up on?
Profile's a lie.
Oh my! I'm
Declan,
catfishing them.
you're a catfish.
Are you serious?
No,
So if I
no,
showed up and they're
no,
like,
I
Jesus
honestly-
Christ, a mullet and a mustache, that wasn't on your Hinge profile.
No, it's pretty. It's a good picture of you. Okay, moving on. So we have the exotic cat shirt, and then we have together we could start an exotic zoo in the middle of Oklahoma in order to save the tigers. I think it's okay, but I think it's
good 'cause
overplayed.
it's on trend. And
Oh,
it
I think
starts
it's
a conversation
overplayed.
about Tiger King.
I think it's overplayed.
Okay, so
Are
it's
other
it's
people
kind of
doing that on
dry.
Hinge?
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I
We're
don't
gonna have
know.
to scroll
That's a
to
good
find
question.
out.
It begs the question.
I get where you were going with it. I do.
So it flopped. It's a
but
flop.
I think it's a flop. I think you need to
Okay.
be like, we'll look at the prompts. I'll redo it. Can I redo it?
dude, sure.
Rebrand this
Okay.
man.
The
like
next
this one
one,
with the
yeah,
dog.
this one's better.
Yep.
Sunglasses are a little bit weird, but
That's on.
No, I
his
think
route.
they're
It's
fine.
on trend with
they're
Decky.
party shades.
But the dog is a good play.
the dog's really
Yep.
cute.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Here's
All right.
the info. 24.
Nice.
Humble brag. We get it. You're
Yep.
not 30.
Yum.
6'2".
Yep.
Not even close.
No, that's so true. I'm 6'1" and 3/4. Everyone knows it.
I would put 6'3" on there just to pad the stats a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Drinks, yes. No other information.
Yeah.
Co-host at the Backpocket podcast.
Oh, it says that on there?
Bada bing,
Yeah.
bada boom.
Oh, okay.
University of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Catholic. Ooh,
Going public. with
mom's
that.
gonna love that.
Right.
That's a mom play.
It says home, Denver, Colorado. Does that mean where you live or where you
That's where I'm
used to
from.
live?
Yeah.
That's confusing. I would think that you live in Denver.
Yeah. Your
Oh.
home is here.
Fuck 'em. Whatever.
Home is where the heart is.
Home's where the heart is.
Home is where the majority of your underwear is.
Fair.
Sweet.
Dude, that bombed. That totally bombed.
I got a fair.
They didn't think that was funny.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
That's all right.
Okay. All right.
I'll
Here's.
try again.
I think girls. I don't know. You can give your opinion, but if I was looking at this, I think I would look at the words more than I'd look at the pictures.
That's what I was getting at.
Right?
Correct, but the first picture says a lot. Not this specific first picture, but like if I were to scroll, it would be prompted by the first picture.
Got
and
it.
then after the first picture, I don't think I'd care.
I think your first
Right?
I think your first picture should be this picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The OG, the one with me and Andrew after our season 3 live show.
Right?
We absolutely grand slammed that.
I hear you on I kind of like your first picture though. I think I don't think it fully looks like you.
Are you serious? It's
Doesn't.
me.
It
It's literally
doesn't.
me.
He's too good looking.
Your hair doesn't
You
look
look
like that.
really
Or I've only
fucking good
seen
in
you
that
in a
picture.
in a
So
hat.
I would
say
just
that. Don't
Yeah.
say that.
Are you
I mean,
serious?
Well,
Say that
I've
again.
only ever seen you in a hat.
Are you serious?
Jack,
Yes, I don't know what your hair
there's
looks
no
like.
way to grade this profile without being
Put it back on.
leave it up.
now
Let it
you've
flow.
had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gabby.
No, I think your first picture is. I think it's a good. I think girls would buy it.
It is a good photo.
Yeah, here's the whole point. Is
You
like,
should
I'm
get a
not
spray
even-
tan if you're gonna go on dates with these girls, though, because
True.
that's misleading.
I've been telling Zach to use self tanner with me. Is that
Yeah.
bad?
No, boys, to all the boys out there, a little self tanner on the face.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Anyway,
What do you guys think of that?
I'm Italian.
So can you
I'll
walk
give
me
the sun.
through? Yeah, can you walk me through this self tan thing? I don't really know
You
what
get
it
a
is.
little self tanner mitt and
Yeah.
you push the foam on it and you rub and you leave it
Yeah.
on for an hour and then you wash it off.
there's some good sprays
Whoa.
too.
And it just makes you a bronzed goddess
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Alright, maybe
listen.
I'm in now.
So you'll
It's that
listen
simple.
to this, Gabby.
without the sun damage.
Right.
Healthy,
No wrinkles,
no cancer.
no cancer.
Are you? Is there a promo code I can use to buy your products?
Mm-mm.
Okay, not
Hash-
yet. Not yet.
Hashtag
Not yet. No. So listen to this. In
Ducky Bronze.
Decky Bronze, baby.
do that.
Sorry.
Don't give him it.
Sorry, it's so easy. It's
So,
such
so
low hanging
general
fruit.
It is
consensus.
slow hanging.
Oh.
Biggest takeaway from my Hinge profile.
Wait, we're not done.
Oh, we're not
You
done.
have a lot of prompts, and you're kind of talking a lot, which I think explains you. But I think you should talk.
Oh my god.
I think you should talk less.
Claire, you're a lot better at this
Say
than
less.
My job is to brand shit.
I just love how you're exposing him.
Yeah, no, this
The
is-
one thing I'd love to know about you is if you're given the aux cord at a party, what is the first song you play? That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Answer the question.
Two Friends, Big Booty, Volume 15.
Let's go.
Gabby?
Okay, Gabby, first song.
I don't know. I get so anxious about playing music in front of people. I usually don't.
What was it?
But
What would
what's
be
your
the song?
go-to?
Okay, how about this? How about this? How about
Honestly, if I were at a party, I'd throw on like some Usher or T-Pain
Perfect.
Okay, nice.
because it
Good.
gets a crowd going.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like that. So I have a playlist on Spotify that is all of the songs that girls would play at parties. If you want to follow it, that's
I will check it out.
yeah.
I'll
no,
follow it.
Yeah.
And what's that playlist called again, Deck?
It's called songs that girls would play at parties if given the aux cord.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's the Hinge question.
Yeah.
You got to be direct. Look, we were talking about brand
yeah,
earlier.
you have to be.
You have to tell them what it
obvious.
is right
Yeah.
away.
Tell them exactly what
Otherwise,
it is.
they're not gonna know.
And it always wins.
Always wins every single time. Clara, it seems you've stumbled upon something that's important.
These prompts are good. Sorry, I'm deep in these questions.
The ones that I'm filling out are just different prompts in general.
You're filling them out. Or
Hmm.
the ones that we're changing.
Oh, got it. Okay.
If loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right. I'd put Carol Baskin.
Okay.
Okay.
So going off the same thing that you were just
Yeah,
bashing
but it's
about
less
earlier,
But it's
Yeah.
less words.
you were like, well,
You should find a Clara.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
You should
fine.
find a question on there that you think our listeners would enjoy.
yeah, there you go.
Put us on blast.
Yeah, put us on blast.
Okay, so you guys have to answer this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I think that'll be fun for you.
I think you would have a fun time if you did that.
Okay. Okay, this one's good. Weirdest?
Why are you guys laughing so much? I don't get it.
We're
Do you guys
falling
need
apart.
to take a lap?
We need to take a lap. Yeah.
Hold up with the Bacardi.
I'm
Yeah.
funny. I'm like,
Becky's taking shots in the corner. Okay.
Shouldn't have iced them.
Weirdest gift I have given or received.
Where's gift? Oh fuck. I learned this lesson the hard way. Fuck. This is a bad one.
Bad or good?
This is bad. No, this is really bad. One time, oh my god.
I also have a pretty good one.
Yeah. No.
I'm a knucklehead.
No, listen to this fucking. Oh my god, this is so dumb.
Uh-oh.
No, okay, so, and it's gonna sound so bad, but one time I got my girlfriend like Calvin Klein.
I got her a Michael Kors.
Calvin Klein's, no, just like straight up Calvin Klein's like bra and panties, because I was like, bro, my mom got me Calvin Klein's for Christmas last year. Like, we got a match, but I didn't want to tell her.
You call her bro? That's worse.
No, I did not. That was my
I call Zach
explanation.
bro.
Because he is one.
Yeah.
Does Zach call you bro?
No.
There you go.
Zach does call a lot of people bro, though.
Calls me the B word. But like in
Whoa.
a loving way. Like
The
because
bro
I
word?
said it was funny.
Oh, okay. Got it. No, so I was like, oh, she's gonna love this if we're gonna have if we're gonna be like we're gonna be a Calvin Klein couple out of nowhere, right?
Out of left field.
And then I was just
like the Biebers is what you're telling me.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going for gold.
You're
right?
Justin, she's Haley.
Right.
Oh, I
And
was
so
gonna say Selena. Oh, damn. Damn. Okay. Too soon.
So just never, like, the premise of this is never buy girls clothes and just assume what size they are, because regardless of what you do, it's gonna fuck you over. It is just not gonna work. All right. So here's the side that
This is
Tip next time.
So good.
Go in her room and look at the signs.
I was ballparking. I was doing this. I was like,
Hey, she's one of these.
Based on how I feel.
I ballparked it. I was an engineer. I was feeling confident.
Did you
I ran
think
the
she
numbers.
was
A
too
large?
thick or too skinny?
For sure.
What happened?
For sure too thick.
First off,
For sure.
it's
Oh, you
Undoubtedly.
got it too big?
here's the thing. You're wrong
Large
either
and
way.
extra large.
Right?
Right.
You
Wait,
are
wait.
wrong either way.
Yeah.
You are either dead
Yep.
nuts or you are fucked.
Yeah.
All right?
Accurate.
I thought she was smaller. It was fucked.
Oh,
So
that's
bad.
worse.
You got something that was too small.
Too small.
Like
Ooh.
way too small or just one size off?
Once but does it really matter at this point? Because
no. Doesn't matter.
If it's
You're
like
fucked.
close,
Small is
though,
small.
it's like whatever.
No, it's not. It's like the girl is like, okay, do you want me to be that fucking skinny?
well, that's what it turned into.
Yep.
And can you imagine me having that conversation?
I would not feel like this.
Yeah, because you are. Gabby,
Gabby's
if
like, "What?
you
I
got
don't
something
get
too
it."
small, it would be like, is that for your 3-year-old child? I hold up Gabby's shirt. I'm like, oh, my bra.
Put on Zach's daughter's shirt and it fits. She's 3.
Oh,
Gabby
no.
wore my pants. Gabby wore my pants in Banff. Mind you, they are stretchy, extra small leggings. You cannot buy a smaller size, and they were baggy. She's like, dude, they're baggy. I was like, well, sorry, they're fucking extra small. I'll go to the youth large section next
That's
time. Okay,
amazing.
but yeah, that's bad.
No,
What'd she
isn't
do?
that like legit bad?
I don't
What?
think
So
it's
then-
that bad if it's just one size off.
No, so like
It'd be
okay,
different if like she were an extra small and you
I
got
think
her a
it's bad.
large.
right.
That's where I'd be like, are you,
You
kidding?
fucking kidding me? I was
Yeah.
like, I'm looking for a baggy fit, right? You know, like that's what I would have. But okay,
I think it's worse to go too small. I really do. I think a girl normally, like, it'd be like, oh, cool, you think my boobs are that big kind of thing?
right? No, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I played it off fine. I played the dumb card. I was like, oh my god, no way, it doesn't fit. I thought it. You look great. You know, I did one of those things, and then I got out of it. But like looking back, I was like, oh like I literally walked out of that situation. I was like, never again.
Yeah, don't
never
ever do it
again. Never again.
No clothes.
Never again.
Not
Literally
gonna marry
never
that
again.
girl.
Gift card.
I go, hey, Deck, look in the mirror. You're wrong. You know, you're wrong. She's right, but you're wrong. You were more wrong than she was right, and you got to be better. So you know that's why I only shop at Patina now. I
love
coined
Patina.
that the girlfriend
Candles.
store.
Those blue candles in
And
the
the
jar.
jewelry.
Jewelry.
There are so many fucking dumb objects in that store
But
that
they're
if
all
you walk in
wonderful.
as a dumb guy and something catches your eye, it
dumb
wins every time.
You can get
Yeah.
like a tea bag thing that's a cat shaped. Like you can get
Right.
Yeah.
anything.
I don't even know what you just said, but it sounded good.
But you can buy it at Patina if you need it.
Yeah.
And little succulents.
Right.
Succulents.
Plants are good.
Plants are good.
Plants are great.
What was your
Sunlight.
gift, Andrew?
My gift was a theoretical gift.
Even worse.
No.
Even
That's
worse. So bad.
bad.
So bad.
Gabby, you have to answer this question too, so good
Yeah.
thinking.
For Valentine's Day, I did the card and like I'll get you I'll get you jewelry
Babe, I forgot to get you
in
something,
the
but
future.
No, you gave her an IOU.
But like it was like hey, I'll wait for my next paycheck to come in. I'll get you this.
And ladies, that's why you
And-
date guys with money. All right, every time.
Yeah.
And that's why you date guys with money.
With money. And we dated for another year, and I refused to bring that back up because I'd never had enough money from the next paycheck to get something.
wait, that's actually kind of sad.
What? Really?
At least the thought was there.
Was she
at
like-
least you said I
Yeah.
owe you instead of
Was she like,
Oops.
babe, it's okay, you don't have to spend that amount of money on me, like let's just go out for a picnic? Because she should have been like that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, we went to IHOP, and it was super fun.
dude, what's wrong with pancakes?
Nothing.
Yeah.
They're
There's
doing
nothing
sprinkles and whipped cream on
Extra
the
chocolate.
pancakes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I have slaps.
But I just
But the
told
house of pancakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, an IOU in any situation is just kind of like
I shouldn't
you
have
forgot.
done that. Yeah,
It's
I
like you
shouldn't have done
forgot.
that. Yeah,
like
I
get
should've just got
flowers.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like think about it as like a marketing guy. You know, like you want to give him something. Like maybe you gave her the coupon for like 20% off her next purchase at the jewelry
I
store.
was thinking the card was gonna do that.
Boys. Boys, never give coupons.
Dude, this is why we're starting a dating podcast because we just
Coupons?
know, dude. We
Oh
just
my
got it.
God.
Yeah.
We just got it. All right, Gabby.
That's bad.
I'm really good at giving gifts.
All
Like,
right.
I'm the best gift giver, and I don't spend that much money. I'm just so thoughtful.
You gave us Mike's art. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
That was
we
Clara's
thank you.
idea,
Of course. It
but I
was.
supported it.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say on that. I'm
You don't have
really
a
good at
gift?
giving gifts.
But what? Okay.
I could say good
Have you ever
ones.
gotten a bad one?
You were gonna bad gift, yeah.
Socks? I don't know.
Oh, come
but socks
on.
rock.
Yeah.
But you know the
Socks do rock.
socks that are just like weird prints that aren't comfy, and you're like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Like they need to
Like the fuzzy ones that are halfway up your ankle, halfway up
and they
your...
make you look like you have cankles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like
and you're
$5.
like, I wouldn't even wear these as slippers.
They're $5 from Walgreens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
those
what
are
you're
the bad
talking about.
ones.
Those
Yeah.
are bad.
That's
What do you guys
bad.
think about the socks that are like made to just be socks like that you wear on the house with like the grippers on the bottom and shit? You ever? And they're like really tall. Usually like Lululemon makes them. I know.
Yeah.
I would rather just have slippers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a twofer that I didn't ask for.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. I have another. Now we're on the conversation. I have.
Wait,
another
I need to get
question.
another prompt, but
No, yeah, please
what's
do.
your pass
Is
code?
my live still going?
Yeah. Now
Yes.
you're killing it.
Ducky, what's your
20
pass
people.
code?
446
sticking around.
Yeah, the highest was 30.
Wow.
Yeah. No, you're at like 100.
I wonder how it's going to be overall when it adds up everyone at the end. Check what
Over
percent I'm
1,000.
at. What battery am I at?
You're fine. I can.
Oh my
we have a
gosh.
charger too. We have 2 chargers.
Sweet.
You guys,
Plug
I
that
like
in.
this one.
Okay.
I hope you do. That's why I gave you the prompt. You're gonna have fun with this.
Okay, hold on. There's a lot of things in here. God, it's hard. It's hard to choose.
Okay. Can I just ask a question? And this is something that's been weighing on my mind. I gotta ask.
Let
Okay.
it out. It's a safe space.
Is it? I hope it
I
is.
really don't think it is.
It's not as. You take that back.
Relatively
we worked. We worked so
There's
hard
a lot
to
of people
panel this room.
watching. There's a lot of people
Relatively
watching.
There-
speaking,
yeah.
it's safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Relative.
Okay.
Within
Everything's
this
relative.
bubble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So my like approach now to
Can I have some booze?
no. So I have a theory. Okay. So we like let me just say this from this standpoint. Yeah, Andrew, fill him up. You know, let's get this thing
It's
going.
COVID. We can't share drinks.
We've been in contact. 'Cause we're
You
in
guys
each
have
other's-
lived together
we're in
since
each
it
other's
started.
Bubble. In
Okay, I'm
our
trying to think about how to word this.
quarantine group.
Okay, so
Is this your dating approach?
no. No, this is just how I like to network and how I not network. This is how I like to create more opportunities. So here's the thing. All right.
I'm nervous.
So girls on Backpocket do 3 times better than any guy will ever do. Straight up. Every
Is-
time. Without fail, every time. Every time.
3 times?
3 times.
Why? Is your audience mainly men or women?
Yeah, that's an
It's
audience
50-50.
thing.
Really?
56%. No, it's 54% men, 46% female. We have we have 77% female on TikTok, which is just because there's more females on TikTok. That's whatever. But for the most part, across all platforms, when you average it out, we're pretty much 50-50. And for some reason, always without fail, just girls do super well on the podcast. And one thing that we're trying to do on this podcast this year, in addition to all of this, is like, you guys are friends. Like, we want to hang out with you more. We want to do other things, like go do shoots and stuff. So we're bringing on other girls who are doing cool stuff, and then we're doing stuff with them, like working out with Sophie or we're doing all kinds of stuff. But then I've noticed that this is kind of like a way to, like, first and foremost, I just want to be friends with you guys straight up. But I also understand that if I'm friends with you guys also have other friends that I'm probably going to meet.
We don't really have friends.
Well,
I don't have that many friends.
And that's you two. But there's also other girls who also have friends, is what I'm
This is
getting
actually
at.
why I loved Gabby, because she got in the car in Canada, and I was like, oh, my friends and your friends. And she looks at me, she goes, I don't have friends. I was like, what's up, dog?
This is a great talking point.
Few.
Yeah.
Okay, so my theory was, bring more girls that you're actually friends with onto the podcast, collaborate with them, have fun with them, invite them over for stuff that we just do, like yoga and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to bring other friends, and then maybe one day that friend of a friend is going to be the focal point or the reference for, like, the person that I actually end up liking a lot, or someone that I could see myself with.
Right.
And I'd rather go that route than go on Hinge or go on Tinder, or slide in the DMs or go out to the bars. Like, because I have someone who actually knows me, who spent probably an hour on the podcast with us, just like hanging out and genuinely bought in. And I'm not trying to like hook up with these girls and like use them for stuff. Like, no, I genuinely just care about you as a person. Like, I want to do stuff with you. I want to build this thing together because you guys are now a part of this, right?
Right.
You guys are part of that brand. So my approach has always been, bring on these people for the hopes that, they also have friends, or they also have different people that want to get involved. And not only is that good for like Backpocket, obviously, but it could be potentially good for my friends. Like, my friend could meet a friend of someone who came on the podcast that is ultimately someone that they really care about, or whatever. Like, so that's my theory of like something that could work potentially.
I think that's just called like old school dating.
Dude, I'm all for it.
That's how it should be.
I'm all for it.
I've never met someone I dated online.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thought of doing that just like makes me cringe. Like, it just makes me cringe that like I have to tell my own kids, oh yeah,
we met on
Mom
Hinge.
and I met on Hinge. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. But I've never dated anybody from online either, but I do know a lot of people who have met on dating apps and like are literally married and so happy. So I don't want to take away from that.
No, you're totally right. Because
and honestly, like, more power to you, because then you have to get over that stigma of like, oh my God, I swiped right. Like, you have to embrace it and be like, I feel like it takes more confidence to actually like own that.
Branch out that way.
Right.
Totally.
True.
Yeah. Totally. So I don't want to discount it, Decky, but I do.
You're totally right, though.
I do hear what you're saying. Like, it's just a weird balance, right? Because it's like on Hinge, all these people are at your fingertips, but like you feel weird because you don't actually know them. So it's like, what do you do?
Right. And you get to choose who you
want
to connect.
Yeah, that's so weird. And it's based off of pictures, which
is so weird.
Superficial.
So weird, because I think
the people I've dated has been pretty much based off of their personality and not what they look like.
100%.
Because the second they show me like interest in what I'm doing and I'm interested in what they're doing and we click in that way, like, that's when I'm attracted to them. Not by what they look like.
This is going to be like very transparent, but I've always been notorious for liking a good dad bod. And I think
I'm dating a dad, so
yeah. I have shout out to Zach. He looks great. Yeah. He looks super good. He's been running a lot.
And he's running 14 miles to get rid of the dad bod, for crying out loud.
And he never finishes a run without finishing what he's listening to.
Yep.
No,
But
sex
I used to be embarrassed about that. I'd be like, oh, stop, that's not something about me. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna own that because they have really good personalities.
Yeah,
so
and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I would have never known that.
Not that you can't have a good personality if you don't have a dad bod.
Well,
I
but,
just
like,
think like, you
But
know.
like, think
Yeah,
about how
I'll
what we
never
all
have a dad bod.
like. We were just talking about bronzing our faces like 20 minutes ago,
Oh yeah.
and we were also talking like
Gabby's entire career is based off modeling.
I also have a personality though.
Yes. But honestly, I think it's a metaphor. Like you have to have a combination of the
Yeah.
two
yeah,
for anything to be successful. You
no,
have
100%.
Yeah.
But that's so fascinating to me, and I love that you guys say that. Like that you, if it really ever is going to work, like you gotta be a human. You gotta have
yeah.
personality.
Oh yeah.
Like dad bod or not, you know, like whatever it ends up being. And I just feel like sometimes the focus, like from our end, like if I'm going into this thing blind, like I want to find a girlfriend, first thing I'm gonna think about is like I need to hit up the gym, or I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to, make myself look more appealing and format myself this way. But it's a weird dynamic.
Mental confidence is number one.
Yeah, and I think that there's a way to like not like you shouldn't have to change yourself, right? But I think that there is a way like this is just my marketing brain talking. But like you can refine the things that are already really good about you and show those off, Yeah. Like take the top 5 things that you like about yourself and figure out how to present those and how to like own them and piggyback off of them. And like, you don't have to become better looking or skinnier or stronger or whatever. Like just find what works for you. And then like what you focus on grows. Right. So like you focus on your top 5 things that you like about yourself the most, and people see your confidence and they see your,
I think the problem though, is that people have 5 things that they like that they feel about themselves internally, but they don't have 5 things that they want to show other people because they're self-conscious about how that looks to others. Like if I told everyone like, oh, like, what's something that's super stigmatized, like being really good at chess or something. Like I'm not out here going and saying I'm like a grandmaster chess player. Like I'm not promoting that. I mean I am, but like I'm not gonna promote that.
Because I think you were cocky.
Right.
And that would be a turnoff.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wait, really?
Gabby's catching it.
Oh yeah, if someone was like,
I'm a grandmaster chess player.
Okay,
good.
chess
I'm
is
really good at
really
lifting
bad
weights. I'd be like, the door is right there.
Chess is a really bad example, but I think that confidence is like very attractive.
But not when it's over the top.
No.
Yeah.
But you can't show your self-conscious side and expect somebody to
love yourself before you love someone else.
Oh.
There you go, Gabby.
Do you want to do your spirit fingers?
Yeah, there it is, dude. She's in TSA. No, but like think about like for me, like doing those stupid decky hashtags and like putting that as something that I do. Like there's plenty of people that come to me and are like, dude, I think that's so ridiculous and self-centered that you would add, like you would just give yourself your own nicknames. I think it's I just think it's hilarious.
So funny. Yeah.
I just think it's funny, and I don't really give a shit about. But there are thoughts that go through my head sometimes as I'm writing the hashtag out, like, fuck, man, like what are people gonna think about this sometimes? And I don't know, I get caught up in it a lot.
But it's coming from a good heart, and a person that clicks with you is gonna know that.
Totally. And if they don't click with you, if they don't click with hashtag Decky Necky, I mean,
then we don't want them.
That
here.
is a direct.
They are not welcome.
It's a
to
direct.
Watch the Backpocket podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to leave.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But seriously,
you are not welcome here if you don't sport the neck.
Yeah. But like, is there stuff that you guys put out there where you kind of question that same thing? Like, I don't know if I don't know if I want to show myself in this light. I don't know if like, does that happen a lot?
My future boyfriend, my future husband would like this.
Client.
Something
this
like
is
that.
the conflicting issue I had with sharing that I was a model, because I thought models were dumb and self-centered, and all they did, the only thing they had going for them was that they were hot. And I was like, well, wait, I'm smart and I'm good at a lot of things, and I don't just model, I'm really good at marketing stuff too. So it's like, I didn't want to call myself just a model because that's not just what I am. So
yeah, that's
I feel weird when I tell people like I'm a model, because I feel like in their head they're like, oh.
No, but like fuck that though.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck
And that's
that.
what I've come to, where it's like, I'll rock what I am. Like, I'm me as myself is what decides what a model is. Like,
dude,
it's up. If they think something bad about it, what I don't want you here. Get out.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It just sucks that there has to be that time, that friction where it is presented. Like you have to own up, or the other person will see some type of thing, some preconceived notion of you being something. Yeah. And that's what's shitty. Like you have, like when you say I'm a model, you know the other person is going to have some type of like stupid thought that's not not directed towards who Gabby is. It's directed towards some theoretical situation that they observe from some negative behaviors that they've experienced. That's bullshit.
My favorite, excuse me, Corona. My favorite,
Clara.
We don't say that. We don't say the C word on the podcast.
Sorry, not a funny joke.
I'll say it right now.
My favorite saying though is like people see things as they are, not as you are.
Yes.
So like, and like, it's funny that you asked that question because I asked Gabby. I texted her last night and I was like, I'm not doing the podcast tomorrow.
You did?
You said that?
Yeah.
What the frick?
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of people have been talking shit on Clara, and I think it stems out of jealousy because Clara kills it. But again, as someone who is successful, and is on their own, you question a lot of what you're doing because you don't have the backing.
Like I was like, I don't want anyone to hear me talking. I don't want anyone to see my face. I like deleted 100 of my Instagrams last night. Like I was like, yeah, like it's really weird too because I'm super good at.
We all shut down at times.
Yeah, like I was like in a full shutdown mode last night, and I was like, all these people are like saying things about me. Like I literally got broken up with over like a rumor from like random girls, and it's just like
it was completely false.
And like it's just. I'm like a really strong person and I'll be the first one to like with Gabby's modeling stuff. Like she's like, yeah, everyone criticizes it. I'm like, fuck it. Who cares? Like, let's go. Like that's the first thing I say. But then it happens to me and I just like shut down. And I'm like, I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want anyone to know anything about me. Like I feel like my dry sense of humor is misunderstood. I feel like, and like it gets to me from time to time. And so like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to have to bounce back from.
This is, again, so cheesy, but when I met Zach, I had a lot of the same stuff going on, and I was going through a lot of transition with, like, I had to drop a lot of friends, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And what he was saying was, like, oh, my God, it's so cliche. I hate saying it. That it's lonely at the top, and as you go, like, you weed out a lot of people, and you find who, like, your best friends are and who really has your back. But, totally. I mean, like, and it sucks, but.
Totally. Yeah.
You find the right people eventually.
Yeah. And I think everyone goes through it. Like whether it's about relationships, work, like hobbies, clothes you wear, like that kind of thing. And like from being affected by something that like somebody was saying about me, I learned something. Like I don't ever want to say something bad about a girl, even if it's like, or a boy, in passing, like, oh, he did that or whatever, because you don't know, like that's more of a reflection of me. Like me saying something bad about somebody, like that's more of a reflection of my own insecurities than it is about the person who actually did something,
Yeah.
So I think like just mitigating that and realizing that like people's reactions are not because of how you are, it's because of the experiences that they've had, the things that have hurt them in the past, the things that like they perceive, it's not about the things that you do, it's about how they perceive you, and you can't control it. And that's the thing is like I was texting my mom last night and she's like, why are you trying to control all these people's perceptions? Like if they don't like you for you, like why?
Let them go then.
Yeah. And that's what I tell all my girlfriends. Like I am like the biggest like girl, like if he doesn't like you for you, blah, blah, blah. But like then it happens to me and I'm a puddle on the floor and I'm like non-existent. But yeah, I think everyone goes through it in different waves.
Yeah, and that's I mean, it's so real to feel all of that.
Yeah.
And me sitting across hearing you say that reinforces how I felt about you prior to even having this podcast conversation. Like I look up to you. I see your story and I'm like, I can become successful because Clara has done what she's done.
Okay, that's really nice and really cute, but that's just
no. But I'll say it like this. I'll say it like to further back that point. You at 26 decided to leave your comfort job to go to the uncomfortable and not have the stability of whatever the world puts on you that you should have. You decided to do your own thing. I'm sitting here 2 years removed from college, having no idea what I wanted, getting fired from a job that I thought was going to be like my end goal, and going through a roller coaster of emotions of self-worth. And I get to hear your story and be like, oh, she was able to leave this and then do this and have success.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like, I can see it and I'm like, oh, if I just change a couple things with my own routine, my own perspective, I will be able to achieve something similar. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't need to be this glorious thing, something that everyone gives 5-star reviews towards, but you tried your ass off to make something for yourself. Mm-hmm. You weren't given anything. You didn't take a handout. Mm-hmm. You worked towards something that you wanted. Mm-hmm. That is more just like, from an outside perspective, that is just like, fuck yeah. Like, I love that. I can do that too because someone else laid some groundwork for me to do that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as shitty as it sounds, like, I hate to hear you say that you don't feel good about yourself prior to coming on this podcast.
And it's weird. It's not like a not feeling good about myself. It's just like the tendency to retract, you know? It's like, I don't want those people to know this stuff about me. Like, I literally texted Decky. Like, we had like a really funny bit about me that normally I'd like throw out there and it's funny and whatever. Yeah. But I'm like,
it's a really funny bit.
It's pretty good. But I'm like, we can't bring that up. Like, I don't want this stuff like publicized, you know? It's and like, fair. It's on such a small scale, but it's like, normally I'm so about self-deprecating humor, but you just never know how people are going to take it. And it like levels you. Like, it's very isolating.
99% of people are afraid to be themselves.
Totally.
And you can see it on social media. We talked about it with Jackson Hole last weekend, who's just this goofy guy who records TikToks and plays video games. Like, you can see that.
Good life.
Right? And you're like, oh, this guy's just a knucklehead.
Yeah.
But he is just being himself and he loves it. And 99% of people will just put out what people want to see.
Totally.
Will act how people want to see them, even if they're not even engaging in social media. Mm-hmm. They'll do exactly what other people say they should be doing so that they are looked at higher.
Totally.
It takes that 1% to be themselves.
Totally.
I hashtags things so stupidly, #BeYou. And people are like, oh, like, well, yeah, fuck yeah, be you, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
people
so
look at it as
silly.
like super vague. And
it's
like,
so vague, so one-off. So, what does that even mean? Be you. Like, whatever that means, sure. And it truly is. If you are yourself, if you act as you, there is nothing cooler. There is truly nothing more just like energizing to go out to the day and be like, I have nothing to do just to be myself. It's sick. And the more I've done it, the more I've seen other people around me do it. Yeah. It's rewarding.
Well, and I think it gets back to the point of, like Gabby said, it's lonely at the top. Well, it's lonely. It's not that it's lonely at the top. It is lonely at the top, but it's also lonely just.
Well, yeah.
It's lonely just
as you keep going and trying new things. It gets like there's a lot of people falling off.
A lot of friction.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I guess to you, Clara, like, I mean, when you're going back through and like deleting a bunch of old stuff, was that just rooted in the fact that you're just like, I'm not proud of like what was going on or whatever that's
No, it's not. It's like I like really know myself, like in and out. Like, I know all my intentions. I like know who I am as a person, but like some of the things that I thought were out there like didn't necessarily represent me, you know? So like, even if it's something that like, I mean, I've never had a swimsuit picture besides my Backpocket podcast picture
and Bochella
in my one piece from Salt Lake. I've never had a swimsuit picture on my Instagram because like which is really funny because anytime Gabby needs, like, we're trying to grow her Instagram, I'm like, drop a swimsuit pic.
Like, no, I can't. The brand.
Me and Zach are like, pimp her out, and she's like, I'm not posting a swimsuit pic. But yeah, like I've never posted like anything risque, and like I don't know. I just feel like as you go through life and you meet people who like want you to be one thing and then you like show something else, they criticize you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's probably their own thing, but like I think it affects everybody. I think that we've all said stuff about people that we don't even realize how it could affect them, and how our little jokes and our little words and our little like, oh, that girl did this, like the wrong person hears that and it is gossip for a long time. And it's, you know, and it's not funny. So I think it's just like, I don't know. It's really weird timing of this because I've never really had this in my life where I'm like, I sat down and I'm like, damn, like I don't want anyone to see me right now. Like I texted Gabby, I'm like, I want to sit in my apartment for 4 weeks. I'm not doing the podcast.
Which is okay to feel that for a night and to be sad about it because it's important to like feel things out. But
yeah, I mean, I woke up and I went for a run and I was like, well, let's get some ices.
Fuck it, yeah.
Let's
do the damn thing.
Let's run it back.
Let's do the
I'm like,
routine.
Gabs, I'll get you early. We'll get champagne. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I think everyone goes through it. And I think it, like, especially with social media and with, you know, a small town like Minnesota, I'm not even from here, but like just there's so many factors now that we have that we didn't have back when our parents were kids or back when you were trying to date without Hinge or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just so many, like think of how many couples fight right now because like you didn't get rid of your dating profile.
Yeah.
And just
I've
dumb,
heard that one a few times.
just
from people.
dumb stuff like, oh, you still have a Tinder, you still have a Hinge. It's like, that shouldn't be a point of contention. Like that shouldn't, you know, but it is for, I think, a lot of people who are like in modern dating as a whole. And it's just interesting.
No, I think it's just kind of weird because I go through that like the similar situation where like I might feel a little bit of recoil from something that I post, but I've always stuck with this through before I ever posted is like be unapologetically yourself, and if you're gonna post it and you're gonna get someone in your front door giving you some serious shit for it, you better have a reason for why you posted it, and it goes back to, you know, why are you posting it? What is the reason that reinforces why you're doing what you're doing?
Totally.
And we talk about like what's your influence and all this stuff, and that's exactly it. I will go the distance for a joke that I think is funny, and if someone thinks it's offensive, well, dude, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was going for.
Totally.
But I like from your perception, Gabby, I know like you just brought up the fact of like, yeah, post a bikini pic, like that shit's gonna pop off, and you're absolutely right. It does for all the wrong reasons, but like.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's like not the audience Gabby's trying to build.
It's not who I want on my page.
There you go. It goes back to your why.
It's like, oh, cool. You have 20,000 more followers than last night. Well, like none of those 20,000 people like
want me for me. They want me for my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not who you want to talk to. That's not who brands are going to pay you to talk to. That's not where you're going to go to bed at night being like, wow, I really feel good about what I'm doing right now. Like you're going to go to bed being like, damn, like I'm utilizing weird things to like have no end game.
Or I kept Zach off my social media for a while because we hadn't been dating for a year, and I just felt like it was weird to post anyone if I hadn't been dating for a year because I don't want to make them part of my narrative and then not have them be part of it. So we hit that 1 year point, and I posted a photo of us at the Timberwolves game. Loses 3,000 followers overnight from one photo.
Whoa.
But I saw
the only photo of a boy on her profile.
The only one. 3,000 overnight. But my percentage for women went up because the men dropped off. And those men that unfollowed me from posting a picture of my boyfriend, I don't want them on my page. Like, that's my life and that's my narrative that I'm telling. And if you don't support that piece of my journey, get off.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is my page and I can post what I want.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy they unfollowed me if they felt that strongly against it, but like I know there's more of them, and like y'all can leave.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's like really cool narrative behind you and Zach, right? Like Zach has 2 kids. Like Gabby literally parents children.
That's crazy.
5 days of the week. Like,
well, not 5. We have like half the week.
But like, you know, it fluctuates. But like, 2 little monsters are running around.
They're not.
No,
monsters.
they're okay.
Yeah.
I would
yes,
steal the
okay,
kids.
yes.
I would steal the children. They're the cutest kids I've ever seen in my life. But like 2 little nuggets are running around, and like Gabby's like, okay, I gotta call you back. Sophia wants to play house or whatever it is, and like that is like what people want to see on social media, especially an audience like, you know, how many girls? It's like 52% of people co-parent now. Like you want to see that real raw stuff, and at 21 to be co-parenting, like that's pretty sweet.
My quarantine has been nuts, and like granted, the kids aren't a lot of work, but like mentally to know like I have to help Jackson with his schoolwork because Zach he didn't finish high school.
Oh, he didn't?
No. Wow. So for him, like, school sucks, and I think it brings back a lot of bad memories. So like I'm the one doing homeschool work with Jackson while he's not in school.
Who's 6, so it's like actual curriculum.
It's getting there.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god,
6,
his
in
school
first grade.
stuff is so easy. I've been making him assignments to do.
Okay, sorry. Shameless plug for Jackson being
Claire's
smart.
like first grade's very hard.
I like struggled through first grade, so
So, but yeah, like, I mean,
Wow.
I'm parenting Jackson. I'm teaching him, helping watch both kids and raise them, and being a good influence for them, and then doing my school homework, and then trying to have a social life, and then running my job, and then trying to start 2 businesses with you.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Damn.
rebranding. Like, I've been filming YouTube videos. I have no intention of posting, but just to practice. Like,
Damn.
it's a lot.
I didn't know
It's
that.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I
Damn.
was
Yeah,
talking
see?
about like,
No one
and
knows.
this is my rest period right now. Like
Yeah.
this is me like the least busy I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually
But
I
what an
have a bunch of
opportunity.
random places I have to
Well,
run
and
around
normally Zach's working until 4 a.m. to wake up at 6 a.m. to go for his run before he
yeah,
goes
Zach
to
and I usually don't see
They
each
don't
other.
see each other.
Like
Yeah.
an hour a day maybe collectively. Like in the
Mhm.
morning if we get to see each other, and like at night I'll see him climb into bed, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't usually, or like I will do lunch dates with him during the day because
Right.
that's the only
The
time we
Fillmore.
can have
But you
together.
like have to go to
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Right.
How
Yeah.
cool is it that you're feeling like that time that was dedicated to work is becoming more time that's around you? Like it's literally
Mhm.
just within like arm's reach, and at the same time, like it's still just as much work.
Right.
Like you probably didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but you probably didn't realize it was going to be that much work prior to even engaging in it, and which is
Right.
pretty cool.
Mhm.
Like you're realizing the things around you are a lot of work, and it's super beneficial. People are vibing. People grow from it.
Mhm.
Whether it's Zach's kids or your actual relationship, you get to invest that time. So as
Yeah.
much as like the situation sucks, quarantine sucks, I mean, Declan and I can vouch for it. We've been able to be with our roommates more often. We've been able to be with our neighbors more often and build some sweet connections from just people that are arm's reach away.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool too. Like you realize like there were skills and things that you wanted to do that were within arm's reach that you probably weren't aware of before. Like, what an opportunity that you have as a 21-year-old to like learn what it takes to take care of a kid or like teach someone their homework, like co-parenting.
Yeah.
Just even that
Yeah.
realm in general. Like, to me, that's fucking
Foreign.
extraordinary
Yeah.
and so foreign. Like,
Foreign.
if
Yeah.
I had if I
Uh-huh.
had to go downstairs after this podcast and like feed my kid dinner, like I don't even know what I'm gonna eat for dinner. You know, like there's it gets to that aspect, but you're tapping into like a totally different side of your like your mental space, like
Yeah.
the caring aspect behind
Mhm.
that. And for you, like, and I'm looking at it like, oh my God, like, yes, you should definitely help this little kid with his homework over sometimes maybe probably your social life or even
Yeah.
like
Well,
your
my social life is
business.
pretty non-existent, and that's okay.
But
You know.
no, yeah, I totally
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But just like understand, like when people are looking to judge or looking to fill a stereotype with an influencer or with a model or whatever, like
Yeah.
understand, like, I mean, you're ultimately winning.
Yeah.
And you just got to be confident in that. And same with you,
Yeah.
Clara. Like, you guys are ultimately winning regardless because you guys are confident in what you're doing and you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
And no one can take that from you, whether you post about it or not. No one can
Mhm.
take that from you.
Yeah.
And no hate should come across your table and deter you or deviate you from the thing that you're doing, because when you do help that little kid with his homework, when you do put those kids to bed, when you do help a client win in some regard, like those are the wins that really matter,
Yeah.
that no one really else is going to see
Mhm.
wholeheartedly.
That
Totally.
was beautiful. It was very well said.
That was very eloquent.
I'm trying.
Mhm.
I really do like appreciate, like I just think what you guys do is so unique, and that's
It's
kind of
definitely
what
different.
it's different. It's
Mhm.
different, and now that you guys are kind of coming together to work together, like I was like, whoa, I know both these people, and I know they'd be great together, and that's what I was hoping when you guys said, like when I asked the first question, I was like, I hope they met through the podcast. I don't know if they did, but like if
We
they
could just
did.
say that.
Yeah,
That's
if
it.
that's
Yeah.
gonna make you
That'd
guys
be
feel
sick.
better,
Yeah,
we're,
we'll
we're
say
in.
that.
No,
Yep.
it doesn't. It doesn't, right? It
Andrew
doesn't
goes,
really-
okay.
I took it.
He's
and
like,
I'm
yep,
taking it.
done.
Yeah,
done.
no, we'll take it
I'll
and
Say
forever
it,
remember
own
that.
and
it.
we'll just
Yes.
make that the brand. But like,
Yeah.
what's way cooler than saying that to people is doing what we're doing right now. I mean, it's fucking 8 o'clock at night. We're drinking cocktails,
Is it
having
8
a
already?
having a I
It's
don't know
9.
what time it is. Is it really 9?
Wait, what time
8:48.
is that?
8:48.
Holy-
Okay.
Yeah, we're-
But
I'm
like,
Why
ask
do you
you-
have time like this?
'cause he's
don't say time like that. It's
It's
military
military
time.
time.
It made me think.
That's
too
what
hard.
happened when That's what happens when you jump in cold lakes after your 20-mile run.
Yeah,
you put military time on your phone.
He's a goof.
Harden your mind.
And you like it.
No, I do really like it.
Do you feel vulnerable that I know your passcode now?
Not really.
Okay.
Browse through it. Let me know what you find.
I'm going to just redo your profile here just to get back to the basics.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I value the conversation and like the genuine thing that we're physically doing right now far more than, you know, anything else that we would promote to get people to the 2-hour mark of this podcast. Like, of course I'm going to do I'm going to do everything I can to say you guys better get to the 2-hour mark, because what we talk about from the 2-hour mark to this mark is like fucking incredible, and I think you guys would win from that, right? I mean, however many people see that and then actually go to it, great. You know, that's just strictly marketing and convincing people. But the people that are actually winning are the 5 people in this room right now.
Yeah. I think it should like be talked about more too. I think a lot of people, like especially in our generation, us young kids.
So young.
The eye roll.
I think I do think it's like something that isn't fully talked about, right? I mean, even these girls who are on Instagram and the only thing they post is like swimsuits, slutty, whatever. You do you, girl. Like, who cares? If that's that girl's brand, if that's whatever, like, hating on them is not going to make...
It's not affecting you.
It's not affecting you. And, like, hate is an emotion that you feel that doesn't affect the other person. So you can sit there, you can scroll. Like, I've seen guys do it more than girls, being like, oh, this whore, like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, let her own it. Like, if that's her brand and that's what she feels comfortable about, why does it affect you?
Yeah,
it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, let people be themselves. Like, I think this is honestly something that I've learned through quarantine too. Like, people posting stories of their home workouts and doing that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, your first thing is like, oh my God, stop posting that. But like, at the end of the day, if that's like making you happy, like your home dumbbell workout, I'm probably not going to do the workout, but like,
I'm not going to be a consumer of your product.
I should probably work out more, but like, you know, like, thank you for the subtle reminder that I'm sitting here like eating my flaming hot popcorn.
Yeah.
But you know, like that doesn't affect me. So why should I hate on it? You know, and I've had friends close to me who have been affected by it. And I think a lot of girls go through it, whether you're 21, 28, 35, 16, like, I think it's just something you go through.
Yeah, I've debated putting the age block on my profile for under 18. Because I'm like, is this positive for a sub 18-year-old to see, or is it negative? I don't know how they're taking it.
Well, when did you start? Before you're 18?
Yeah.
I just think about the opportunity that you have where I think you said on the last podcast, some young girl is definitely going to want to know what it's like to be a model on Instagram. That's going to be a thing for generations to come.
Right.
So, I mean, tailor your brand and tailor your marketing towards those types of people, and obviously stay away from the sub 18-year-olds that maybe don't want to see it, but
sub 18.
Sub 18. That was really good language on your end, English, but
this is some foreshadowing.
Yep.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, I just think I don't think you should limit your opportunity to impact.
Right, that's
true.
And
I think the more you put yourself out there on just different platforms and just kind of get your voice going, like you're gonna see value. Like, it would be very cool to run a 1-month campaign to see how Gabby Thomas performs on LinkedIn, just to see.
I've debated LinkedIn.
But I'm telling you right now, if you just did your no photos, no videos, strictly written content for 30 days in the next month of your journal, or, you know, channel the content based on, so it's a win-win wherever else that you're already doing. If you just strictly post that on LinkedIn, exclusive, or not exclusively, but just add that to your repertoire of, I will post this on LinkedIn. Like, I would love to just do the study to see how how people respond to you, because LinkedIn is an entirely different platform than an Instagram or anything else that you've done before.
Right.
It's just fun to see how you're perceived. You're putting out the thing that you like. You're putting out yourself. You're you're unapologetically posting, right?
Yeah.
You're never, if someone posts some hate and says F Gabby, F, who gives a shit, blah blah blah, it's not gonna affect you more than it has in the before, right? So but I would love to see on the other side the positive of like what people are actually super interested, or people personally message you and be like, I was really inspired by this.
And it gives you a platform to put words to things, because like Instagram captions as a whole, I mean, you're saying 10 things and then it's like,
and people don't read past a few words.
No.
Right. Where LinkedIn's literally
Opposite.
could not be more opposite.
Yeah.
Like my things that I just write down, like I just post because I'm like, I gotta come up, in the morning at 9 a.m. I'm on coffee and Andrew's tweeting,
I'm being an essential
and I'm
worker.
And I'm at work because I'm
the
essential,
sun,
and it's COVID time.
getting tan.
And your boy is fucking hiding from
boy.
people.
Just
and I'm
chug my
posting on
coffee.
LinkedIn. Like, I could not tell you how many times I come up to people randomly at work and are like, dude, liked your LinkedIn post. Really liked what you said on LinkedIn. I'm like, LinkedIn. You should see what I got on Instagram.
Follow me at Decky Insta.
Right, but you see my point is like, if you really want your brand to be, a very wholesome, just like thing that is out there, regardless of all encompassing.
Right.
Just test everything. And that's what I'm challenging you on, is like, part of it is, you want to plan everything. You want to make sure that
I need to do it in the moment, because no one's going to be disappointed.
You just gotta rip.
Yeah.
You just
Except
gotta go.
me.
You just
and
gotta
I need to get
go.
over it.
Right.
Yeah.
You just gotta go. You just gotta have that unapologetic mindset. And when you hit tweet, when you hit post, when you hit send, that regardless of what happens, it doesn't matter, because you read it through a couple times or however many times, you put some thought towards it and you believe in what you're posting.
And you cared about it. And there's a reason why you felt uncomfortable towards it. And ultimately that uncomfort is the fuel to making it greater.
Totally.
And and the more you wait in the uncomfort to then like put out something that is quote unquote perfect or more presentable, you're more actually more acceptable. You're actually losing out on what you were trying to get out initially. You're reforming.
It's less genuine.
It's less genuine.
Yeah,
You're
it's
putting
more constructed
towards other people's preconceived notions.
And I think like one of the most so my favorite Instagram to follow is Louis Capaldi. Have you guys ever looked at Louis Capaldi's Instagram?
I have not.
I haven't looked at
Holy
his Instagram,
shit.
But if you want to log onto my phone and follow Louis Capaldi, go for it. I'm all for it.
I got you. Hashtag Decky Assistant. So Louis Capaldi, like, obviously we all know how talented he is as a singer. Like, love him. Really goofy looking guy, and he plays into it hilariously. Like, he is the most unapologetic. Like, I swear to God, his management goes in and changes his captions, because when you follow him, his caption, like, the first hour is like, "Hey America, control your boners. I'm #1 on Spotify." Like, it's super unrefined and like hilarious. And then like an hour later, it's like, "Thank you so much to my listeners."
Oh my gosh.
Like, his PR team changes it. Yeah. But like, he's super unapologetic, and it's like raw and real, and like he doesn't care at all. Like, you see the weird quirky things. You like see his bedhead. You see like his robe that's super ugly, or like, nothing is staged. And I think it's super funny, because he's really, really famous and he's really, really talented, and nothing about it is unauthentic.
And that's why people buy in, and that's why people want to continue to hear what he has to say and what he puts out.
Totally. And like, I feel like you have this with like where you're going. Like,
yeah,
you have like weird quirky, like Gabby will laugh like when she's actually laughing.
I can't breathe.
She can't breathe, and so she like does this thing where she looks like she's gonna die because she's
like I'm seizing,
because she's laughing so hard, and her face like does this thing, or she has to eat every 3 hours, otherwise she turns into like a raging you know what.
No, like it's really bad.
You guys, in Banff, I was ready to make her get out of the car.
Yeah, like it's really bad.
I'm like, you need to get out.
No more patience.
Our photographer ate her beef jerky, and I thought Gabby was gonna pull a knife.
Yeah, because we had no more food in the car.
She goes, "Are you kidding me? We had just got McDonald's like an hour before."
Yeah,
but there's just like always authentic things that you can share.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, what's something that you like haven't put out there that's truly who you are, but you have like reservations on?
I know the answer to
The Sims 4. Wait, what?
No.
Sims 4.
I've
We're
never
starting the
mentioned
Twitch
it
page.
before. Yeah.
We're starting the Twitch page.
What?
I'm not putting it out there for people. I'm not going to be the one putting it out there.
What are you talking
Give
about?
her the lead.
I'm not going to put it out
there.
Give
me a hint.
We talked about it on the phone like 2 days ago. And I was like, I feel like when you like get your right audience, you can resonate with these girls, and you can like talk to them about how we kind of already touched on it, like just your college journey and the unconventionalness of it, and like how.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's something a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. And how much I've struggled with it.
Yeah.
College makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much it like.
Wait, why does it make you sad though?
It's everything that I don't want in life.
Well, you never really
Forgetting-
had. To be honest, you really never like had it though. You were already
Right.
going on a different path that
Right.
college
Yeah.
made no sense. College was only ever a burden in your life, in my eyes.
Right.
You always filled
but
it
I
as a
also,
void.
part of me should see it as a tool because I do love learning, but the thing is I'm not even out of my generals yet. Do you know how frustrating that is?
That's
Yeah,
gotta be
it's
frustrating.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
learning
got to
the
be so
same stuff
frustrating.
that I've already learned in high school twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm writing a paper
Yeah.
on Abigail Adams this weekend about how she was a revolutionary woman, which is fine.
Shout out to Abby.
And
But-
she's killing it.
But it's like I've learned about these events in history now twice because I took it in high school and then I had to take it at Iowa State and then my credits didn't transfer. I'm now taking it again
Yeah.
at CSU.
Yeah.
It's not my third time learning about
Yeah.
the same series of events that I could, watch a YouTube video like the crash course and really
Netflix
understand
documentary.
it, or watch a Netflix doc on it. But instead,
Yeah.
I have to spend how many credit hours
No, and
money.
Yeah.
and money learning
Yeah.
it again.
No,
Mhm.
and look, I'm an engineer. Like you have to go to school to be an
Humble
engineer.
brag.
Yeah.
I know, humble brag.
Well, and a
take
doctor
engineering.
and a lawyer.
We
but like,
know
but
you're
you don't have
essential.
to- Yeah, we know. We get it now.
We get it.
We literally.
Do you want to
literally
show
get it.
your badge? Sorry.
These are all so good.
Can I come to your stand up with you?
Hey, please heckle me. If
the
you,
mic in the audience. we just
Clara,
have
if
her,
you would
like,
ever show up
drag
to
you.
anything I invite you to, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 21 right now, probably.
Not even, dude. I haven't. Oh my God!
You're
Don't tell me that
You've
I've
invited me to every stand up show you've ever had.
Not ever. I would
Well,
say like 70% of
That's
them.
a lot, but I haven't come to. I have recruited people, been like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight at 9? We're gonna go to Decky's podcast or stand up show," and then we just.
So
Can
like,
you make
what's
it
the
like
deciding
6:30?
fact? Oh my
9
God.
p.m. is
Yeah.
late on a school night. I'm 30.
Right. Okay. Look, I'm literally gonna
You're
throw a
not
show
30
for you.
yet.
I'm
Yeah,
not 21 anymore.
You not showing up to our live show was devastating.
That was the most embarrassing thing we've ever had to go through.
Yeah.
I did
We-
watch it.
We had an award for you. And you didn't
Twice.
show up.
Okay, in
Twice.
fairness, I knew the award was going to be most likely to not show up or whatever the hell the award was. And so I'm like, well, the irony here is that I'm not going to be there to accept
Oh
it.
my
Oh
God.
my God.
See, this is why I don't go to stuff, you guys. I have social anxiety.
Yeah, I do
just-
too.
I don't go to stuff. I don't like it,
You want to hear
Which
about
which
my
is really
21st
weird.
birthday?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't go to bars because I have social anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't vibe with college kids. All my friends are older than me. Hence Clara and
Okay,
my
we get it, I'm
33-year-old
old.
boyfriend.
And us, you know,
And you
we're
guys.
24.
Yeah.
Not to
Ooh.
brag.
Zach's so young, 33 though.
He is.
He's
Zach is
so
like
young.
that.
Zach
He's
is
so young.
very young.
But he does have
33.
2 kids.
God.
But he's also young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's spry.
Yeah. So on my 21st birthday, I was like, I probably should go to a bar again on my 21st birthday and get a drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to a show at the Armory. We stopped in at Jack's downtown. Yuck, but it was
You
my
gotta do
option
it.
in the area.
Hey,
Got
you
it.
know
On the
what?
21st.
I'm actually not above C-Boy J's. Gonna make that plug.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do like the
good
rooftop.
point, Clara.
Yeah.
I
go to-
really,
Yeah.
I like a good C-Boy J's day.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'm going after quarantine
Yeah.
first.
That second floor they added. That's
Yeah.
It's
the same-
pretty
The
good.
piano
It's pretty
room.
cool.
Yeah,
pretty
it's pretty
good.
dope.
Yeah, but I'll
pretty
take the
good.
rooftop any day of the week because it's
Yep.
got a great view.
Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway,
Anyways, go ahead.
I walk in, and the second I get up to the rooftop, some creepy ass guy comes up to me and goes, "Fucking Gabby C. Thomas," grabs my boobs, and I'm like, I like literally don't know what to do. Like full on like runs at me, and I'm like, I need to go. Like,
Oh,
Dang.
or it's like I just like don't go out anymore because
Yeah.
it's like
yeah. You had the preconceived notions prior to that, and then they lived up to the expectations.
the second
The second you walked in.
on my
That's
21st
bullshit.
birthday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like,
Damn.
I'm done with this shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. That's.
that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that there's just like people out there that just make that much of a
A scene.
scene.
A scene.
Also, look at me. there's really nothing special here. Like, I'm a driven young girl, but, like, you don't need to act different. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't
But,
know.
like,
Those are some dope-ass pants. Those are some dope denim pants.
I really like your
American.
socks.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Those Hanes
I have some of your socks from Canada.
those Hanes socks with the
them.
pants.
I washed
Those are fucking dope, dude. I'm all in on that. You know.
Wow. All
It's
in
sick.
on that.
It's dope. That's fucked up though. Like,
Yeah.
that hurts my heart because
Yeah.
it's just like, let her have a fun 21st birthday. If that
Yep.
happens to anyone else, it's like World War III.
Hashtag
you know?
me too. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
did
I'm
make a
saying?
scene after.
No, you did. You
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Make a scene, right?
I
Cause
stand
a
up
scene.
for myself.
Cause
yeah.
a scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just it sucks because I could never put myself in that. Like, I
Yeah.
would probably never be in that situation.
Right.
And like,
Hey, when the comedy takes off.
dude.
True.
But here's the
But
thing:
even
if some,
that,
if
you know,
Andrew's like, might be a stretch.
what do you mean, dude? Like, if someone's charging after me saying Decky what effered, like, if I get dogpiled and injured because of that, it's just like, well, you know, he's
I
asking
made
for
it.
you know?
Hey, look, I made it. When you're getting tackled for your comedy shows,
I made it.
That's
if
a
you
win.
if you actually show up to a comedy show, that's probably when I made it, right? If you
I've
of all
live
people,
streamed like 2.
right? Sure, that's fair. I don't know. I just think it kind of just blows my mind, like those kind of stories, right? Because
Yeah.
I would never even think about going into the like being a part of that sort of situation, or even like being in the lifestyle that you live, like having to co-parent, or you know,
Yeah.
going through you managing over 300,000. How many followers do you have now?
213.
213.
I think, yeah.
So, like, I have no idea how any of that would, you know, feel like, but I'm going to ask every question to try and feel that, because, you know, Andrew has way more empathy than I do, but, like, when I go through...
It's good to be self-aware.
Yeah.
No, I do. Andrew has the most empathy of all time.
Andrew's an empath. I'm a sociopath, but trying to connect.
But anyways, taking a stab at this. No, it's
Since
just-
I have the mic, let's just go ahead.
let's just go ahead and run with it.
Oh,
No, but
sorry.
I just really I
here
super
goes.
Good luck.
yeah.
Thanks
go
for
ahead
playing.
and lead this one in. Fucking it.
Pop your popcorn, folks. It's gonna get good.
Claire, do you have anything to say?
Flip your coin. Let's see what heads or tails. We don't know.
Touche is good. It's all you.
Are we ready?
It's all you.
Are we ready? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Go ahead. We're all really excited.
We're all ready.
I don't know. You guys are laughing.
It's because
No,
you're
guys
funny.
aren't laughing
You're a comedian.
Yeah.
You're great, dude.
Sorry.
You're killing it.
Sorry, you're funny.
You're telling me that my funniest moment is when I don't say a thing.
And when you're sitting down, you're not even standing up.
Whoa! It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here.
Oh, that's amazing. That wins. That wins the night. That won the night.
Yep. Hashtag Decky silence. Give it up.
Decky, sit down.
Decky, you just... Can you change your Instagram handle to @Decky sit down?
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you just peaked. Decky just peaked.
You literally need to just like put like gather all your followers, just like, hey, we're gonna have a burial for Decky. Sit
Here
down.
lies Declan, the essential worker that we
Join
all
us for a
miss
social
dearly.
distance funeral.
Yep. Please stand 6 feet apart.
We're gonna be putting on the
Sit.
first ever social distance
Please
funeral
sit.
for
Please
our friend.
sit. Please sit 6 feet apart.
This is Decky sit down.
All right, we may have actually come up with something pretty funny.
Yeah, I think it's good.
That's very good.
Wait, the funeral
Call yourself
parlor?
a sit-down comedian, and you
That's
deliver
s-
everything sitting down.
so
I think it's
good.
really funny.
Yeah.
6 feet apart. Fuck. Maybe that's the solution. Is just coming up with new events that are just fit the mold of what everyone fucking
Yes.
thinks.
Adapt.
Yeah, like we're not gonna throw a Travis Scott concert, but we're gonna throw a Travis Scott meditation sit down at Lululemon. You know, some bullshit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
Are
like,
you saying that he would deliver the meditation
No,
inside Lululemon?
Is
No.
Travis
I'd be
Scott coming,
I would
or
be very interested.
right? So we already got interest.
if
on,
Travis Scott is coming, like you can't take credit for the event because Travis
Right.
Scott is there.
Because he, yeah.
Sorry, but you can do something.
no, but the idea of the thought of like.
I wish everyone here could see Marcus's nods throughout this entire. Marcus couldn't be on the same page if he tried. Marcus is on our same page.
Yeah, but Marcus is fucking wearing a turtleneck, dude.
Marcus is
fucking
about to
65
take your podcast audience and convert them to his podcast. So I'd watch out for Marcus in the corner. He's doing sneaky shit.
He's starting a grassroots
He's
campaign.
the only sober one here. Weird.
Yeah.
And
Shut up,
and Marcus is about to be way more famous than you, Ducky. I'm
Operation
sorry.
79.
dude. So be it.
Hashtag Ducky 79.
Okay, so what I was really getting at here is the idea of a fake funeral for me, where everyone stands 6 feet apart, sitting down,
That was your takeaway from this?
and just like having people go up and give a eulogy about me dying, but it's not dying.
That's actually really.
Wait, what's
Like-
wrong with my mic? Or is it yours?
It's
No, it's because we're just freaking out and we're hitting the top of the game because it's so funny. But like the idea of like someone getting up and being like, Declan was a good guy.
Wait, you guys, I think this is a really good idea.
a
I'm
funny
not
ass
even
idea.
kidding.
Stop screaming into the mic.
Hey, Marcus, can you get the essential worker a water,
Can you
please?
get the snare check? Can you get
But
the snare check?
I honestly think that's a super good idea. And I think, like,
It's like a little fucked up, but I love it.
It's so fucked up to throw a funeral for my old brand.
you know, Ducky stand-up.
Let's all sit down.
That's so good.
Transitioning into this new period of time, Ducky's Ducky, sit down.
It's so ridiculous.
What's the venue? Where's the venue? Where are we going to have it?
Like in the aisles.
You guys, here's Gabby's Oh, my God. Let's set a date.
I was going to say a
Let's set a
graveyard, but maybe that's a little...
There is a graveyard at Lake of the Isles. There is a graveyard.
There's a graveyard.
There's a graveyard.
Dude.
I hold my breath when I run past it.
We're gonna float my old brand tombstone out on the lake. All right, this is the dumbest idea of all time. We're just
No, I
thinking
love
out.
it. I love it.
This is going to be your most attended event by far.
When
Oh,
are you
yeah.
ever going to attend a funeral for someone who's alive?
Mm-hmm.
You
It's a bucket
guys,
list item.
honestly, what aren't you curious what people would say though? Like if you actually were dead, like hearing your own.
Eulogy.
Oh,
Hindsight's
I
always
think it's
20.
so sad, though.
fucked.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's a good
Marcus is going,
perspective.
nope, fuck no. There's this movie called The Cloud Atlas. If you guys haven't seen it, it
Wait, I think
literally.
I've
Oh,
seen
it's
this
so
before.
good. It's so good. It literally walks through like your life and when you die and how it operates like afterwards.
Mhm.
And it's like perspective and it's super good. But on a less serious note, I think we should actually do that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, again, Gabby said it perfectly. The premise of the whole thing's fucked up, right? You're having a funeral for a guy who's rebranding,
Who's 24?
who's 24,
Pretty healthy guy.
and you're
We're going to have people stop with their condolences and we are going to feel like pieces of shit. Like, oh my God, this 24-year-old died. I'm so sorry.
Because there's going to be
No,
a crowd of
okay,
at least
that's-
I feel
30.
like he's
Hold
actually just
on.
right there.
Yeah,
sitting
actually,
down.
that's him sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
no. That's the whole thing. Is like you
He's
gotta the thing that you have to do is you can't promote it as a funeral, but you promote it as something of like, yeah, he's rebranding and we're treating it like a funeral. So like I'm gonna be alive the whole time, but they'll put my old brand like in a casket, like all the dumb bullshit, like my fucking dumb, like I don't know. What would be like a thing that I would put that I don't want to ever be a part of again? Like I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
even like, just like Decky cheese. Like,
Yeah, Decky cheese. Put like a slice of cheese,
That
like
sounds stale.
Yeah.
right.
It just
Gross.
sounds overdone.
Gross.
I'm actually
in
going
the
to.
sun for too long.
Since I have your phone, I might change your Instagram handle.
Okay.
At Ducky Sit Down.
Decky, sit down.
Decky,
Jesus
sit
Christ.
down.
I think the
That-
people need to know. What is it right now? Declan Brown?
I lost it. That was
That
perfect.
was so
Yeah.
funny.
Decky, sit down.
Yeah, that got me.
It was a good one.
It was really
I'm
good.
really proud of that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really good.
you should
I think
be.
my dad will like that one.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and
He's
you-
laughing.
and you
He's
know-
laughing
yeah.
right now.
And you know it, dude. Joe is like one of the many who are probably sitting down, hanging out with us at the 2-hour mark or whatever we're at. 3
Probably
hours.
3
on.
hours.
Holy shit.
Psycho.
No, this is what we do, dude. This
Yeah.
is literally what we do.
This is what we've done.
Username.
all we
at
do.
Decky.
No, but that's god, that's a dumb idea.
DECKY.
What?
It's DECKY, right?
Yeah. Which is like fine. I do. I mean, there's no K in my name, but I include it when it comes to.
Hey, it's
My
your
name.
brand.
Decky.
I don't know. Is that a bad branding thing? That we
Good
can keep
No,
news.
it's
going?
good.
Good
Okay.
news, guys.
Is it
Deck-
actually Decky Sit Down?
Decky Sit Down is available.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
you're gonna
iconic.
just change the
That's
whole
really
thing.
good.
Your handle is now at
Yeah.
Decky Sit Down.
Oh fuck! Are you serious? Come on.
The rebrand is starting. You can't fight it.
Well,
Who's
your
gonna
name
find
on Instagram can still be your full name, but
Right.
your handle
it's
can be
still
different.
Declan Brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Declan
So
Brown
people can still
44 was doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
People
It
can
doesn't
still
tell people
search
what
your
you do.
name and you'll come up.
Right.
Decky Sit Down tells people what you do.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I think it stands for something. Oh no, it sits for something.
You fucking asshole, dude. The dad joke. That's how you know the dad jokes are killing.
I love it.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, wow.
That was good.
Wow.
It's
Me,
Decky
that's
Sit
why
Down.
me and Joe, we connected.
Yep.
So we talk about my personal brand. It's me being stiff and upright and like a dad. Oh, man.
Hey, everyone loves a good dad, right, Gabs?
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Love the dads.
Decky Essential Worker, you're getting a bedtime reminder that
Oh
your
my
wake-up
gosh.
alarm is set for 5 a.m.
Ew, that's really early.
Every day. Every day.
What's your morning routine?
Yeah.
My morning routine. Wake up at 5 a.m.
We know that part.
and then work out from like 5ish to
7:30.
6ish,
Okay.
and then go to work. Get to work by
So
before
like,
7.
you don't shower, you don't brush your teeth,
No,
you
I-
don't eat breakfast.
Are
No,
you
I do
going
the-
coffee?
I don't eat breakfast. No, I don't eat until
fasted cardio.
How do people do that?
Fasted
noon.
cardio.
Use your fat for energy
Yeah.
every day.
That's
Intermittent
why-
fasting.
That's why you don't do it. I eat at 2 p.m. every day for the first time.
I
Yeah,
have to eat the second I wake
Yeah,
up.
we know.
you can rebrand that though.
Yeah.
Should I bury it?
No, let's not encourage that. Don't
Eat
write
at
that.
11. Eat at 11. How about 11?
Me or her?
Anyone.
Anyone.
No, she needs to eat right away.
Right
Okay.
away.
Yeah. You guys,
There's nothing to burn off.
we tried to go on a road trip at 6 a.m. in Canada to Moraine Lake, the
It was
most
really
Instagrammable
crabby.
place in Canada, where there's like a 5-star hotel where there's a lot of civilization. And Gabby thought the heat was too hot because she was hungry. And I was
Yeah.
driving through a
I was
fucking
hangry at
snowstorm.
6 a.m.
I was driving the rental car whose transmission just went out
Yeah.
through a snowstorm just to get to Moraine Lake. And Gabby looks at me and she goes, "Well, it's so hot in the car that my water spilled, and now we have no water."
I thought we were going somewhere where
I
there
was
no
like,
food or water, and I
"Motherfucker,
was
we are."
pissed.
She was so
I
mad.
was
I go, "Gabby,
pissed."
we're going to the nicest hotel in the fucking province.
Yeah.
There's gonna be water." And she looks at me. She goes, "No, there's not. We're fucked."
We need
We're
water.
screwed.
She goes,
now.
she's holding this empty water bottle, which only spilled because she didn't close the cap.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You turned the heat on too much, and all the water
I
came
thought
out."
it like I was really mad. I was
It
really mad.
evaporated.
I was like, "Ma'am, can we get some beef jerky up in here?"
Yeah. I needed
Dude.
food.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
so
Decky, keep
bananas.
going with your routine.
I don't know. I work from like 7 to like 4:30 ish, and then come home and either do comedy or podcasting. Usually do a Zoom call, whatever it is.
With who?
We do weekly Zoom calls with partner company Marnita's Table. She does a lot of just really cool charity work around the Twin Cities. She like pre-COVID, she was doing free meals and community gatherings for anybody in the whole city, and so she would bring in people of color, she'd bring in whites, whoever, and have these awesome community gatherings, community dinners in pretty much every suburb in all of Minnesota. And so she partnered with us because she just like saw our podcast and was like, "You guys are giving the voice to the people who don't have one, and I want
Aw.
to partner with you And then we partnered, and then COVID hit right away. And she was like, okay, we're going to pivot what we're doing. And I want you and Andrew to host a Zoom call with our community every week. And Andrew and I,
that's really cool.
That's really cool.
Why don't you guys market this?
We do. Every week. Every week we have a Zoom call. Every week we have a Zoom call.
It's been every Thursday.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. And so we partner with Marnita's Table and...
Too Soon, Comedy in Crisis.
Yeah. And so she gave us the comedy hour.
Wait, that's so cute.
And we're they love us because every time we go live, we are the #1 viewed Zoom call in their company. Aww. Because we just like bring people on. We have a rip-roaring time and just talk about lighthearted conversation type things during these crazy times. And Marnita loves it, and that's what Andrew and I do every Thursday. We just dedicate, we block off our whole calendar, and that's what we do.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, so that I mean that's just one of the things that we've like started to do, but now it's just like we want to just like do things that are like physical now. Like Zoom calls are just like, it's so hard to like.
You want to get up on stage. You want to just host an event. You want to be in front of the community again. It's so strange having just like so much negative pressure about not hosting or hosting an event. Like we want to host an event right like tomorrow.
I'd throw a live podcast on Saturday and invite everybody if I could.
Or even just like a workout, a yoga session, whatever it is. I just want to get together with all the people.
Because that's like where your energy, that's where your feelings, emotions, like those types of things just come from like physically being around those situations. Now that that's taken away, now we want it more than ever.
Totally.
So when we're talking earlier about, when's the next concert? Are we going to be able to fill X amount of people in a place? Well, if everyone signs off saying like, fuck it, if I get COVID, it's my fault, not your fault. And you can have people sign waivers saying that, bro, we gotta get back. We gotta get back to those things because when we were talking about like Gen Z, like the future generation, what are they spending the most money on? What are they doing right now that's more than any other generation that has before? They're not buying the Gucci, they're not buying all these super nice things.
It's experiences.
They're buying experiences.
Yeah.
Exactly, Gabby.
They're buying Sims 4.
Yeah.
They're buying Sims 4.
Raise a virtual family.
They're going to Snow to Fest. They're going to Zombie Pub Crawl. They're going to Coachella. They are physically doing things because they know when they grab that Snapchat story, when they can capture that memory for themselves that they were physically a part of, that's something that lasts forever now.
Right.
Totally.
And for you to just like take that away because of the risk of getting something that you could defeat yourself, I get it. But how many young kids are going to go see their grandmas right now? Nobody, because they're like in fear of giving it to that age group of people. Like,
right.
I would get tested before I go see my grandma now, right? Because I don't even want to risk it because of the news I see that, you could have COVID and never actually experience these symptoms and then pass it along to someone else. If I actually saw my grandma tomorrow not having any symptoms, and then I clearly give her the symptoms and then she passes away, you know how bad I'm going to feel?
Right.
But again, on the flip side, if you're willing to sign off on something like that, where I'm willing to accept the fact that if I show up and cram myself in a room and go see an experience that I really want to see and have the chance of getting COVID, I guess I can't see my grandma for the next 14 days. Sure. All right. Sure. Like there has to be a social movement first before there's law, before there's something else, because if there's not, what are we going how are we going to progress? So if people are going to get mad at me for doing a workout with X amount of people, or if people are gonna get mad at me for doing this, it's like, no, because I know that these people didn't have COVID, I didn't have COVID, and we're gonna do something. Now's the time.
Yeah, what's scary though is like a lot of people can't handle the responsibility of it, or like are in denial. You know, like someone can sign off, like we'd be responsible, and like we had my grandpa's 80th birthday party yesterday, so we had a social distance picnic. Perfect, great way to see them at a distance, and not come into contact. But there's probably a lot of people that are seeing their family and are still going out to see friends, and by like having events like that, they're going to kill their grandparents or their parents.
For sure.
And like it's scary because like you can't just, I don't know, it's hard because you don't want to say like no one can do these events. There has to be like a middle ground, but a lot of people can't handle the responsibility.
Yeah.
So sad.
It's such a weird divide. It's like you have to take the risk, or you just don't get to experience that thing.
Right. Right.
And I just quite frankly see our younger demographic just wanting to take that risk to just have that kind of personal fulfillment. I mean, it comes to a certain point where it's like we have to move forward. Like, people will look at an Elon Musk saying "get back to work," blah blah blah, as like a horrible thing. But I also kind of see him in the sense of like, dude, we kind of need that push right now. We kind of need that idea of like, okay, how many times are we gonna sit here on a Friday and then hear Governor Walz tell us it's 2 more weeks, or it's another 2 more weeks? It's like, how many times can we do this? Okay, it's 2 more weeks. Oh, it's just 2 more weeks. Oh, it's,
I think the scariest thing too, like, is how, okay, so like we're all struggling in this thing of staying home, right? Like we've all seen the little meme thing that's like, okay, your grandparents went out and fought World War II, you can stay at home for a month, like you can do it. But I think like for kids, for like women who are in bad situations, like staying home is not a safe place. Sometimes for kids, staying home means they don't eat food. Like, because a lot of, like, the reality is like a lot of the kids in the Minneapolis school system rely on school to eat. They rely on school to get away from parents that don't treat them well. Their constant is their teachers, is their, like, that's their constant adult. And I think like what's really eye-opening during this whole thing is like, we're struggling to stay at home and blah, blah, blah. But like domestic violence calls are up X amount of whatever, whether it's in Edina or South Minneapolis.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, one of my coworkers, she's my boss, but her uncle is the police chief in Edina, and their domestic calls are up 200% because it's just.
I just got goosebumps from that.
So it just is. It breeds other problems that like break your heart that you don't see. Like it's these people who are staying. You'll never see it, but they're staying at home. People are drinking more. Kids that are already, but people who are already like, kids that are already not eating on the weekends are now struggling through that same cycle Monday through Friday, and those parents are probably the ones who are struggling more without income. And like I think there's just such a perspective to be seen of, okay, you can lose 9 modeling gigs during COVID, like you can get fired from a job, you can whatever, but like at the end of the day, like everyone's okay in this room, and like that's not the reality for everybody. Like that is, imagine being a 7-year-old who was struggling to eat on the weekends already. And then you're just told you can't go to school. Like you can't see your teacher who's your constant. You can't, like I think it's just, it's eye-opening. And I think it is a lesson.
It shows a lot of privilege that we have
too. It totally does. And like, I'm the first person to be like, I'm not going to be controlled by Corona. Like, like that's me. But I do think like, you have to be safe. You have to be educated. You have to like take the precautions. But at the end of the day, like how many deaths from cancer are we going to count during this and call it Corona? Like that's what's happening. People have been struggling with cancer for 9 years and then they get Corona and they die. But like they've been struggling for a very long time. And it's just creating this perpetual fear of, like do your part, stay safe. Don't be reckless. But like, I think there's a lot of disservice that is being done to families that don't have the privilege of staying home in a safe space.
Right.
And you'll never know who it is.
Never.
You'll have no idea.
Yeah. And that's like the part of social media that like can make that impact is like, you know, you can't, there are things that you will see out there that do tell that, hopefully, that same sort of narrative of like, look, you guys can be complaining in quotes about corona, but like, look at this kid who, you know, relied on going to school to get his second meal of the day.
Totally.
Or that first meal of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of families that it's touching that, like, you know, are used to having everything. They're used to being privileged, and maybe corona touched them in a way that like their young son got it. Yeah. And it's like, holy shit, this is real. And we're the outlier. And right now, like nobody's exempt to it, you know? And that's the thing. Yeah.
No one's safe, but at the same standpoint, like, for us to sit here and say that we're bored, or for us to sit here and say that this is a burden to us, or for us to sit here and say like, I can't progress because of the coronavirus is like total bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we can just come home and be like, oh, well, I guess I have to watch Netflix because I'm bored, or I have to do this, or I have to do that.
That is
such
a blessing.
No, understand that the reason there are successful people is because they take advantage of the unique opportunities that they're given. Bill Gates was given was given a computer from a mom's club when he was 13 years old, and that was what got him stoked about computers in the 1960s, when not enough people even had access to computers.
Totally.
Can you imagine the access that we have now, where we're in corona, we don't have to do a damn thing, and we're still good? We're still good? Okay, what are you going to do with all this other time, right? Like, Gabby, you're talking about, oh, I don't have to go all these other shoots, so what am I going to commit this time towards, right? And you're committing it towards something that's going to better yourself, which is good on you, right? But, like, there are plenty of people out there that are just wasting the time away on some shit that they are just filling almost because they're just bored.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
And I always just go back to, like, there's people out there who wish they could take the time and be like, oh, I'm going to start a side business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But like, they can't because they have 4 kids to feed and they can't afford to feed their kids because their job is gone now. And, you know, they went from making $70,000 to making $15,000 on unemployment. And you're sitting there like stressed out about how to even feed your kids. Like, how are you going to think about starting a side business if you literally can't even feed your kids? You know, like, it's all just perspective. It's all just like very eye-opening. And I think everyone has a different journey with it. Like, I think some people sit at home and, like, you know, if you're already in like a weird mental illness place, like, that's going to be highlighted. If you're sitting there depressed and feeling alone, and then you're told you can't go anywhere, you're going to feel way worse.
Right.
You know, like, it's just, if you're in a bad marriage and then you're together all the time, that's going to feel worse. If you're in a great marriage and you're sitting there like having to pivot, there's opportunity, but like, you just have to be gentle with the people who are different than you, you know?
You really have to just listen to every single perspective.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so many other people out there that are struggling more than you are.
Totally.
Always. No matter what situation you're in. And like COVID, like enhances that tenfold, and you can really feel it, but that's an all the time thing. So it's like, how can we right now, like, just simply choose kindness, or just choose like an opportunity to positively influence the person across from us, whether you're at the grocery store and you smile, or you're sitting at home and you inspire your roommate to like, hey, let's go for a walk. It's literally that right now. And
I was in the Caribou line like a couple days ago, and I was on the phone like being busy, whatever, and I went to give the girl my card, and she's like, oh, the guy in front of you bought your thing.
Oh my gosh.
And I go, okay, I'll buy the guy behind me. And she goes, okay, it's like 16 whatever, is that okay? And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And she smiled and she goes, you're the 24th person to do this.
Oh my god.
24
Dude, I have
people.
goosebumps again.
24 people sequentially paid for the person behind them.
That is incredible.
And all the employees were like hooting and hollering around the window because like they had never seen anything like over, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and they're waiting for somebody to break it, and like, and nobody broke it, and they're like, you're the 24th person. Like, it was like crazy. I was like,
to find that first person and tell them that it went however many people. Like,
they just drove home, right? Or
they went home.
And
they're like, I bought a $6
for 2 orders.
That's true. But they also, you know, I bought a $6 latte, whatever, it made someone's day. Like, no, you just made 24. Like, I don't know how long it went. I wanted to stay or like go back through the drive-thru and be like, are we at 50? Like, where are we at here? But yeah, like she was so happy and and everyone was like it took forever to get my latte because everyone's standing there being like, oh, are they gonna
Celebrate.
do like yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
And
That's
that
really
I mean
sweet.
that's why we have the opportunity to impact people. And we're dealing with this crazy invisible sickness that is so negative and people are so down. And there's simple experiences where 24 people choose the opportunity to have kindness and empathy and be like, oh, I'll just buy the person behind. Oh, the person in front of me bought my drink.
Yeah.
I'll buy the person behind me instead of walking away
Yeah.
like I just got a free drink.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I think for 24 cars to do that, like,
Crazy.
that's crazy.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think it went way further, but I don't know.
Oh yeah,
But, you know,
probably
bet it
keep
did.
taking
I'm
on.
like, they hit a hundo. Like,
should call them.
I know. I wanted to
And be like,
check
what
in
was
on
the
it.
number?
Like, I go there
Yeah.
every day. I should just ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just always cool stuff.
You have to
like
start
that.
it up tomorrow.
That's amazing.
I
Well,
will.
I think we'll wrap it up with this final question because we could
100%.
honestly go.
We
for
could go
hours.
for
I know.
hours.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys
We'll
are the
come back
longest-
when we launch our.
Our brand.
Your
Our
actual,
first of
yes,
two.
Your
Of
real
course.
brand. Your feel. Your.
I'm
for
just
real
gonna put
brand.
it out there. Decky kind of said the name at one point.
Yeah, that's where we were like, oh, foreshadowing. We were joking. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys picked up on
I
it.
did
You
not.
didn't pick up on it. You said the name.
Well, I
Well,
said
Don't give it away.
No.
We're just gonna say
I'll just listen back to it
Decky
and
said
see
it.
if I can find it.
Yeah, you will.
Okay, cool.
I believe
Why,
in you.
why did you guys like react like that's the name and we didn't hear it, or what was
You'll
it?
see our reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's obvious.
Okay.
If you're looking for it.
All right, but yeah, we'll finish
Yeah.
with this.
Final question for both of you. What did you learn today from the moment that you woke up to when we're having this conversation? And feel free to start with whoever.
Go ahead.
you go first. I don't have one yet.
Okay. I learned, I guess maybe it was like not something I learned, but it was just hammered home. We've touched on it, like just that you can only control the things that you can control. And like you can't control how somebody perceives something. As hard as you may try, as hard as you may fight and be like, no, that's not true. No, that didn't happen. Like their perception of it is not something that you can have say in, and just not letting that interrupt like your peace or your intentions or you as a person. And like one of my old friends called me today and was just like, hey, like, why are you letting this tear you up? Like, you gotta let it go and control the things you can control. And if you can't control it, like, it's not meant for you and it's not something you should spend time on. So I feel like I've conceptually known that, but it just felt a lot more real today when I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Like it might mean that I lose a couple people, and it might mean that like the people that get me become closer, but that like I can only control how I react, and I can only control like the positivity that I put out after feeling negatively. And that's like what you have to focus on.
Phenomenal.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Thanks.
I'm glad that we can bring that out just through talking about it. you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. Gabby?
Biggest thing for me that I'm still learning, and we touched on today, was being authentic and being you. It's a beautiful thing when you can just be yourself and let stuff go and play around with who you are, and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love that, man. Or Gabby, I should
Bro.
say. Bro.
Dude.
Bro.
Man.
No, it is so funny because Andrew and I get caught
Brother
up on that
Gabby.
all the time. Brother Gabby. Thank you for bringing that up, Brother Gabby. Sister Gabby. No, but it's so
It's
true.
2020.
Like,
It's anything, Gabby.
yeah, it could be
Yeah.
anything, Gabby. But like I always get caught up in the fact that like, oh my God, like saying be you or just triple down on yourself is like the most vague advice you could ever give, but
So good,
it's so true if you can just
Yeah.
like the real thing and what's rooted in is just like self-awareness. Like look yourself in the mirror every once in a
Mhm.
while. Like
Mm-hmm.
try and do your best to figure out what's going on around you, because that's your biggest tool to grow. And when you're able to employ self-awareness, you start to realize the things that matter and the things that don't. When people are giving you praise and you're tripling down on those types of things, then that's great. Keep going. And then you see the hate, and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't necessarily line up with what I'm saying. So why does it matter? The root of all of that is self-awareness. And I think, like, for you especially, right? Like, self-awareness is going to be so key going forward for the rest of your life and for anybody.
Right.
But for someone who's putting their genuine self out there every single day, going at it, like, that is going to be your thing. That is going to be your superpower. So keep employing it. You're doing great. You guys are both great. I can't imagine, and I can't even predict about what's going to happen between the two of you and the things that we're going to be doing post-COVID. But it's going to be something special, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Thanks, Decky.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for your time on the Backpocket podcast.
Yeah, I'm essential in that space.
Don't keep praising him.
Hey, Decky has a bedtime to get to, so if we could wrap this up, that'd be great.
Past his bedtime.
Right. No, but thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely love you guys.
both.
That's a wrap.
Let's go.
That was really good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think we have to cut the
Do we
first
break
hour
it up
and a
into
half.
a part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, part